Hey everyone, Sam here. Chris is with me. So hope everybody is doing good. Thank you for turning out for our first live, episode 1. I'm in the Dragon's Lair and Chris is in the Bear's Den. So hope everybody is doing well tonight. We are probably going to have a special guest join us tonight. And when he arrives, we'll make an introduction. We'll leave it a surprise for now. But what's everybody doing tonight? What's everybody carrying? How about that? I've got a whole array kind of spread across my desk. And so, you know, I'll go through just a couple over here. I've got a Pictus with me. Absolutely love this knife. And I have found myself fidgeting with the heck out of these things the last little bit. And the other one that I've been playing with a lot today has been the Wyvern. So I don't know. I got this in a trade. I did not know if I was going to like it. I got rid of something I didn't like for it, and I turned out to be probably one of the best trades I've ever made. So what do you got, Chris?
Right now, I picked up and automatically started carrying or playing with the Kaiser Militaw.
Oh, you've got the nice Militaw too.
Yeah, I picked this one up at Blade Show this year, and I love it. It's just fun when I'm sitting fidgeting. Today, I carried the Grimsmo Rask in full DLC, and it's interesting. You'll appreciate this. So a group of us at work went out we had some consultants in to go over some stuff, and they took us to St. Elmo's in downtown Indy. And it's, for those that are watching, it's typically on the top 10 best steakhouses in the country on several lists. And so here I am, I'm pulling out my knife at the dinner table and like explaining to the HR lady why this is really cool, you know, while sitting at lunch with it or dinner with consultants. So
yeah,
the Rask is upscale steakhouse worthy.
Yes, it is. I give you all the credit on that one. That is a phenomenal knife. So let's see who's in here tonight. I've got Marco. Hey Marco, thanks for hopping in here. Projectiles are sharp. Tristan, good to see you, buddy. Berkeley Cerakote, Brad, my dude, how are you? Jen Blaze, thanks for hopping in. Jimmy Crow, my bro. How's everything doing, Jimmy? Fred the Lug. Gosh, Fred's everywhere, man. Appreciate you hopping in here, Fred. Awesome for you to join here. Robert Jones, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for coming in. Ramses, my dude. Ramses is the man. So, Chris, just so you know, Ramses is like mod extraordinaire. Whenever I'm in a room, he is dropping my channel like left and right, just pumping us up. So, gotta love having some Ramses in the room. Paul Mills. So, Paul, here you go. You have the Kodiak finally in the room with us, right? I'm the Wyvern. That's the Kodiak.
Yeah, I'm not a rumor. And hey, Jimmy knows a little bit about St. Elmo's. He popped up the shrimp cocktail. It is fantastic. There were a handful of them at the table. It was good.
That's right. Jimmy's an Indiana guy, so you know, and not only that, but Jimmy is working with me and a couple other people when we talked about putting together like a little knife gathering, if you will, show and tell, hang out with other people in the community. So we're probably looking at doing that springtime. So we'll take a drive and meet up everywhere.
My travel case is about half full. It's ready.
I got to get mine put together.
I can be out the door in 10 minutes.
I bet you can. You're always prepped like that. You're a prepper though. So Stacy Bolster Blades, good to see you. Thanks for hopping in here. Awesome. NFK20. Thanks for hopping in and checking out our live. Anybody else that I miss here tonight? see, Adventure 50. My buddy, how's everything, Adventure 50? Good to see you. He's a New Jersey guy. Ad 50 is, he might meet us at NYCKS if we go.
Nice.
So that'd be really cool to connect. Mutsumbo. I'm terrible with names. I apologize if I'm butchering that. I'm not trying to. Thanks for hopping in here. Appreciate everybody hopping in and saying hello and checking out our live. So let's see here. So here's a question for you. So did everybody see Chris's video that he dropped a few weeks back called Mechanical Soul? Stacy, Chris and I are located in Indiana. Brown Sugar, welcome to the live. I think I just saw William Hornbostel too. William, welcome. Hey, it's the Johnsons is in here too. Everybody, cool. A lot of familiar names in here. Awesome. Appreciate everybody turning out and hanging out with us for sure. We won't keep it like a super long one for our first one, but we did want to get out there. We did want to hang out with everybody and just say hello and just start to interact and familiarize you guys with our faces. I think we're in the lives with everybody. I think I've probably spoken to all of you multiple times, if not hundreds of times at this point. But it's nice to put a face with a name sometimes, and it's cool to just kind of do some real-time interaction, talk about some of the stuff we've got going on and stuff like that. So Berkeley Cerakote, yep, Indiana, that's right. He is like 45 minutes west of me. And if you haven't checked out his channel, awesome stuff. Or
you're reviewing his knife.
Yeah. I reviewed his knife in case you guys didn't see the video on that too. Awesome knife. So, well, where did he go? What happened? Our guest hopped on for a second, and I was going to add him to the room, and then he disappeared. Where'd he go? All right. Well, if he comes back in, we'll add him back in. Yeah, Ramses, appreciate that. Yeah, I've been trying to get some content out on the regular for everybody, and Chris is dropping a lot of. He's kind of like my alter ego in a lot of ways with stuff, right? I do specifically what the knife is and knife content. He starts to think deeper. He starts to break down things at a far deeper level and starts to understand why does he carry what he carries? Why does he choose the knives that he chooses and things like that? And it's really cool to hear it because it starts to let me start reflecting a little bit on why I do what I do, why I choose designs that I choose to make, or things like that. So for those of you that haven't, Chris, could you break down a little bit about Mechanical Soul, I guess? I think that's just the subject I wanted to break into on this.
Hey, good job prepping me for that. No, Mechanical Soul to me was just something that I was feeling. And, you had asked me what were my favorite knives and why. And it's interesting that when you start asking me questions, it forces me to think deeper into prep. And I think that was the big piece is I was trying to say, okay, let me go through the knives that I purchased this year and start picking them all up and thinking about them. And then I was like, well, why am I not carrying this one knife? Because again, the Kaiser Bulldog was the one that I referenced in the video, and that checked every single box. It just didn't make it. It just didn't feel great in my hand when I was deploying and doing stuff. Sever 7, what's up, brother?
Well, here's our special guest this evening. Sever 7, I'm sure most of you are familiar with this guy and his amazing content that he drops on the regular, and he's got some really cool stuff that he's got in the works as well. So appreciate you hopping on, bro. I know it was kind of last minute, but
no, I'm just trying to find the right angle to where I can. There we go. Okay, we're in it now. Hey guys, hey everybody.
Devil, no matter what angle you look at, right? You're muted now.
Died for me. I can't hear anything.
Yep, now I can. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, you muted yourself too. We couldn't hear you for a sec. So yeah, we're good.
Oh, okay. Very cool. So super great to meet you guys.
Yeah, likewise, man.
I mean, and face to face.
Face to face, yeah. We've spoken on the phone. I know Chris has spoken to you and stuff like that. So yeah, we were just kind of talking about mechanical soul of knives. You know, what is it about a knife that draws you to it, right? Thinking a little bit deeper into not just, hey, it's pretty, but you know, there's certain knives that they look great, but they just don't resonate with you, right? And then you've got other ones where you'd never think you like them. Spyderco for Chris, right? Oh, that was your first one. Where you look at it and you're like, why does anybody want that thing? And then you use it and you're like, I'm in love. So
I didn't have to use it. I just put it in my hand and went, this just feels different this is a lot different than my Buck 110. And I'm not bashing the Buck 110. I carried it for a decade.
Yep.
It was just very different, and it fit different, and it moved different. And then when I started using it, it just,
I think we all started at the Buck 110, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure my dad probably still carries a Buck 110 when he goes deer hunting. I mean, it's an old classic. And yeah, William, you're right. I like pointy knives too. But I also like you know, a knife that has a weird shape on it or something like that. But I think sometimes it's a feeling you get. It's a knife that when you put it in your hand and you get that feeling where you're like, was this made for me? Right. And Sever, you've talked about Unkowski, right? Where that one's like, that one, I can see that one has your mechanical soul all over it, bro. That one speaks to you. I know that does. We've talked about that a handful of times.
Yeah, where we were talking this, Sever, is it started when Sam asked me to pick my knife of the year. So now I'm going through all my knives and I'm picking them up and I'm playing with them, and I started based upon features first, and then I get to a knife that checks every feature that I love, but I never carry it. And it was because when I deployed it, there was nothing that just resonated with me. And I started going down this thought process of now going, okay, when I pick up a knife and I carry it for that day, I'm going to play with it and I'm going to jot down my feelings throughout the day and what I'm thinking. And in my notes, I had just written down that, you know, the Dixon that I'd sent off to you to play with. I jotted in the notes that day that this just has mechanical soul, right? It just sings to me when I flip it, and it feels good. It's tactile.
Cliff Brott, sorry to interrupt, Chris. Cliff Brott, thanks for hopping in, man. Good to see you, dude. Always a pleasure. A lot of familiar names, man. That's just awesome. I appreciate everybody turning out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So you're 100% correct, Chris, though, right? It's an extension of you in a lot of ways. Yeah. And I see some of the folks in here talking about, I like clean lines, right? Like that's something out of me, right? I am turning my collection monochromatic. I've gotten rid of 90% of all the color in my collection. I love, like, Sever, you want me to send this one to you, right? So this one right here, right? Plain tie, clean, just, I love clean, man. Yep. There's something about a clean knife that just resonates with me. It touches my soul. And, you know, I can't even explain it, but when I see it, I'm like, ooh, that's me. So
I think, for me personally, I experience a knife in 3 separate ways. One, whenever I first look at it, and it can resonate with me then. 2, whenever I first have it in hand, it can resonate with me then. And then 3, in actual use, it can resonate with me then. So I think Spyderco is one that can resonate not in the visual stage, but it can resonate in hand or with use over time. But knives like, let's see if I can.
It's the Growler XL, Fred. I grabbed that one. This one spoke to me.
I'm gonna move the light a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm still trying to figure out my.
Nope.
Oh, hey, that's a good light.
We can see it perfect.
Yeah. So, like for me, this is one that spoke to me on first look.
Crescent Edges? Is that what that is?
Yeah, this is a Crescent Edges Eternal. The Eternal Paladin. Sorry, guys. I'm not okay. I'm kind of a boomer. I am learning how my movement in real life is reflected on the camera that is going in reverse in my perspective. So if you guys see me over here like doing old man stuff, it's because I'm an old man and I'm doing old man stuff. But so this visually resonated, in hand it resonated, and this is something I would certainly add to my collection. But the action is spectacular, but doesn't necessarily resonate with me, right?
Yeah.
So out of the 3 phases in which I experience a knife, based on the first 2 being a pass, the visual and the feel in hand, this was something I would add to my collection, but it's not something that I would hardcore carry with me, as opposed to, say, this Crescent Edges knife. This is the Celestial. This one didn't ring me. This one didn't get me visibly because it seemed too muted, but then in hand it got me, and then in everyday carry it got me. So this is one that, there we go. This is one that I would add to my collection and one that I would add to my EDC. So I think of knives in those 3 phases.
I would agree with you. There are definitely knives like that for me as well. I think that a lot of knives are, how do I put it? Like I'll give you a great for instance. We were in Blade Show last year, right? And we were just wandering around. Really, more than anything else, it was all about introducing ourselves. Right? We're trying to show people a design. We're trying to get people to talk to us. We're trying to understand how the business worked a little bit, things like that. And all of a sudden, we got to SRM, and SRM guy was talking to us, and I really didn't have anything interesting to tell me. But as I was doing it, my natural progression went to fidget a knife, and I started playing with this thing. And as you can see, it's in my hand, which means I bought it. And the reason why, and I don't even like crossbar locks, but this thing is the Mirage. And I'm not even kidding you when I tell you, is the greatest $50 knife that I've ever touched in my life. And it just immediately spoke to me. As soon as I started fidgeting with it, it became, I had to stay at the booth. I had to play with it. And it was just, it's such a good knife. And this actually turned out to be my budget knife of the year. If you looked at my video on Knife of the Year, where Chris and I kind of broke it down into a bunch of different sections, you know, under $100, under 200, under 300, under 400, and then over 400 was all the ones that we broke down. And yeah, absolutely can tell you that this was my sub $100 knife of the year. And it's just, it's crazy because I look at it and this is like, yeah, it's an okay looking knife. It's not bad. It's an average looking knife, but it's when you put it in your hand. It's when you feel it. It's when you touch it. First time I cut with this thing, I couldn't believe the edge that's on this thing. It's phenomenal. Unprofessional Dad Chris is in here. What's up, buddy? Thanks for coming, Chris. Appreciate you, my friend. I see you in there. And Mo Patty, how you doing, my friend?
Hi, everybody.
Roger Baker. We've got Sever 7 in the house, and then everybody knows me from all the lives, but you know, the other half of Wyvern Kodiak is the Kodiak. I'm the Wyvern. So you've got Chris here. He's the Kodiak. And, you know, he's kind of making his public appearance here for the first time, which is cool. So appreciate everybody kind of hopping in here and whatnot. So just a little brief thing here. So what I'm going to do is anybody that I know, everybody that we're familiar with, our friends and whatnot, I'm going to start making all of you mods for our channel. Okay. If I don't know you, I'm not familiar with you, come back a couple of weeks, be part of the community, and then we'll add you and give you a wrench and you can be a mod also. Couple reasons why I want to do that. One is, as a community, I think it's important that we share each other's channels and help each other grow. And then the other thing is that Chris and I, we can talk for hours and we can talk about absolutely nothing. We were testing our live last night. I told him, give me 30 minutes. I just need to test it. 2 hours and 47 minutes later, he was falling asleep on camera. So, you know, you guys can help us police the room a little bit and make sure that if we get any trolls or anything, you can give them the boot for me. So, I will start running through here while these guys are chatting. I'm going to start putting some mods in place. So if you see something pop up on your screen that says you're a mod, you'll know why.
Perfect. So Sever, you said there are 3 things that connect you to the knife. Mm-hmm. And so do you know that right away when in each of those 3 segments, or have there been knives that have completely surprised you and you changed your mind on just throughout the years?
Oh, there's a 4th element, which I don't even know how to explain, but I have a relatively small knife collection at the moment. The rebound is going to be epic, but what I do to keep myself happy with my collection is I take half of my knives, or all the ones I'm bored with, and I put them in a box and I stick them in the closet and I don't touch them for like 6 months. And I'll put knives away that I'm bored with or I'm not super satisfied with or whatever, and then I'll pull them back out and suddenly I'm in love with them, right? So one such knife is, I don't even know what knife this is. It's a little remet. But all right, I'm doing the old man thing again. We'll back it up. We'll go over here.
He's like, don't talk about my buck 110.
Yeah. Whatever this remet knife is, though, it just reminds me of like an eager cadet, right? Just a little dude doing his thing. He's got an awful blade to handle ratio. If you guys can see, man, I suck at this camera thing. Yeah, but you could probably fit another ½ inch of blade in there. Crossbar lock, don't care for him much. I'm just gonna hold everything to my beard. That way, it's all on screen.
That works.
But yeah, it's just a handsome little thing that I put away because I didn't like it. And now that it's back out, I'm kind of obsessed with it. Not a crossbar lock guy. I'm obsessed.
Face by the end of the show.
Do what?
So you keep holding it up to your face like that, you're gonna have a shaved face by the end of the show.
With how clumsy I am here, yeah, okay, maybe I'll hold it away from my face. But yeah, I'm not a crossbar lock fan. Blade to handle ratio, psycho. Like it has to be as close as possible. This thing doesn't represent anything that I particularly love in a knife, but the 4th element is just when something hits you like a ton of bricks that you formerly didn't like at all. To answer your question, though, I will say, yeah. So like the visual aspect is what tells me, like, I'll buy a knife based on visuals, right? All of us will. Sure. But then once I get it in hand, it's like, okay, am I still in love with this knife? And sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. But if that in-hand experience isn't good, over time, that 3rd element of experience with the knife, that'll kick in. And it's like, okay, I didn't think this was great in hand, but now that I've had experience with it for a while, I really enjoy it. So the 2nd step, first getting it in hand, that's the one that can be divisive, right? That's the one that could lie to you, because over time you might find you love it.
Yeah.
It's interesting. You had said, how you're a blade to handle Nazi, and Sam's that way too, and it doesn't bother me. Like, you could take my little McBees here and put like a 4.5-inch handle, and I'm happy as can be, right?
You know where it comes down to though. Okay, honestly, so I think Sever and I look at it from the designer's perspective in a lot of cases, right?
Yeah.
Because we are designing the knives all the time.
Yeah.
And for those of you who haven't checked out the sneak peek on Sever's prototype that he put out the other day,
appreciate the shout out.
No, seriously, man, that thing is sexy. I mean, the scales on that thing are just like, I don't know, man. I mean, I can't begin to tell you like how excited I am to get my hands on one of those. Out of all honesty, like that looks like it has mechanical soul for me, and that's not me pumping you up because you're my friend. It's just one of those knives where you look at it and you're like, man, that just looks like it's going to be something that feels good, talks to me. The blade shape, the fit and finish, everything about it's just got, curves like a fine sports car type of thing.
I appreciate that, man. That means a lot. Thank you. I'm super thankful whenever I get feedback, even though you don't have it in hand. It's still nice to hear that the language of the knife might not speak to everybody. It might not speak to most people, but the fact that it speaks to some people, I'm really thankful for.
And that's you said something that's a good point. Chris and I have talked about before also, right? Like, your knife can't be for everybody, right? Our knife won't be for everybody. There are people that don't like frame locks, don't like certain types of locking mechanisms. Certain people prefer fixed blades, or it's too long, or it's too short, or whatever it might be. You got to make something you love yourself and speaks to your style, but at the same time has some sort of use purpose. And I think that's kind of where you're walking that fine line. And I'd love to hear, from you guys in the chat, like, what do you think about that type of subject as well?
Adventure 50 said that he prefers crossbars.
Yeah.
So there's a mix, right? And it's one of those things that, like you said, I typically don't like crossbars, but man, that SRM, you love it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then you got like Jimmy Crow, right? Jimmy Crow is Mr. Bug Out, man.
Bug Out, yep.
Right. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I have several bug outs myself. So, I mean, it's a good knife. I'm certainly not complaining. It doesn't have the mechanical soul to me, but I would say that that's my real first knife, right? Like my first knife that wasn't a gas station piece of crap or a buck 110.
Yeah. I got the Kaiser Bel Air, and this feels pretty good when it comes out. Like, I don't mind that at all. I'll carry this with me when I'm just in suit pants a lot of times, because it's
wait, hold on, Chris. Time out. Hold on. Fred the Lug's going to have Sever's knife in hand on Tuesday. How does that work? What's happening here? What am I missing?
So way back when, like a week after I announced that a knife design of mine had been accepted, Fred messaged me and he was like, hey, whenever that knife comes in, will you let me check it out? Technically, he said, will you let me be the first person to check it out? So I lied. I actually let DBD or EDC, you know who I'm talking about, DBD. I let him get it first, because before I'd ever gotten it in hand, he had it in hand. He was the first person to touch it outside of Ketsuo, and he actually did a short to show me my own knife. I appreciated that so much.
What's up, brother?
That I sent the knife out to him first, but now it has to go to Fred. So Fred's
awesome.
Yeah, and it's funny. Neil McKenzie, what's up, bro?
What's up, guys? Welcome in.
It's funny that you say that, right? Because you got a couple first in liners in this place in the room right now, right? Fred likes to get his hands on protos first, and he's connected throughout everywhere. So I mean, I'm right there with it. He's asked me a bunch of times, when you get your proto, you got to get me one. Like, yeah, I'm aware. I'm not forgetting you, brother. Yeah. But on top of that is you've got Adventure 50, who is notorious for getting #1. He's backer #1 for tons and tons of Kickstarters. I think he's like 3 or 4 in a row now. He was first for Mallory's design. So, I mean, these guys, they want it first. I get it. It's awesome. It's awesome to have people that are really excited about it. That's the thing. It's fun to see the people get excited for your work, right? You've put in all that effort, that time, and you never know how somebody's going to receive your design. And so it's definitely nice to get a excitement level. Kelly's Mishmash. What's up, Kelly? Good to see you, sister.
Hey, Kelly.
So,
no, I agree. The early adopters and the first backers, those enthusiasts that are throwing caution to the wind, they haven't even seen maybe but a photo of your knife, and they're already like, I mean, knives aren't inexpensive. They're already dropping $200, $300, $400 just because, one, obviously they want the knife, but two, they want to support you. They want to support what you're about. They want to, make sure that you continue to live on in the industry, through your designs and through, what you bring to life. And I think that's that critical 5%, I think probably 5% of the knife collectors out there, that make up those first adopters. I think they're critical. Yeah.
No, I agree. You need fans because you can't pump your own stuff up all the time, right?
Right.
You need somebody to back you and say that your stuff is cool and whatnot. And question for you, Sever. And I guess it's something I've seen your knives. I've seen a couple of your designs now. I know you've got a few in the pipeline and going through CAD and stuff like that. And we've talked about some of that stuff, but the one that you showed recently, can you give some detail about it? Like, I know you probably don't know what the price is going to be yet and stuff like that, so I'm not going to ask that question. I think it's more like, it looks like titanium. What's the blade steel, or do you know what that's going to be yet? Just details like that. Have you ironed that out yet?
About the one that I showcased?
Yeah.
So I am 90% sure it's going to be M390.
Okay.
But the big difference between, if it was up to me, it would have been S90V all day.
Mm-hmm.
But the big difference, and I know you guys have some experience in kind of backing your own knife, is as a designer that sells a design, I get very few liberties as far as like blade steels and things like that. Mm-hmm. So obviously it had to be titanium, right? Otherwise they weren't going to get the design. But they ultimately decided that it was going to be a more premium knife of theirs. They didn't want it to be a budget knife. I don't know pricing yet, but I would imagine somewhere between $250 and $300, probably in that territory. So I'm almost positive it's going to be M390. They did a fantastic job of, because like you guys have seen the handle, it's like a thin handle, right? It's very like
yeah. Jen Blaze, by the way, I said before, anybody we know, and I'm familiar with you. We've talked in other lives before, so I know you're not just trolling through rooms, if you will. So yeah, I'm going to give you guys a mod. So if you got a channel or something like that, or if you have a website, if you have a Instagram, Facebook, anything that you guys want to highlight in there, please, by all means, you are welcome to drop it in here. I'll make you a mod for that, for sure. So I see Charvy, Shay, Trouble Bunny. Thank you for hopping in, everybody. This is awesome. We're getting a really nice turnout tonight. And
hey, what's up, everybody? Good to see you. A lot of familiar names.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I definitely know these names and appreciate these people coming in and saying hello. And it's awesome to see everybody's kind of hopping in here and checking the channel out, especially first live. So that's really cool. Appreciate everybody. Gina's Reef. Awesome. Thank you so much for hopping in here. Help with gadgets too. Ooh, lots of names. I know.
Yeah. Hey, good to see everybody.
Yeah.
Gina's
sure.
Reef. Real quick, if you could message me on IG, that would be awesome. I really want. And forgive me. I'm not sure if it's your husband or fiance, but I really want to get his knife in hand again. So if there's any way for me to do that, whether it's to review or whether it's just to check out on my own, I was super impressed with what he was able to do in such a small amount of time. I'd really like to check it out again, if that's okay. If not, you tell me to F off. That's cool too. Like you won't hurt my feelings, but it would be definitely cool to check it out again.
Kathleen Smith, thank you for joining, and just shout out to Kathleen. So last night in Dark Waters Live, she DFKFS a knife to me. So she won a giveaway, and she's given me the giveaway win. So that was pretty cool. I appreciate that. Super nice. I was not expecting that. I usually try not, I rarely enter giveaways in these rooms just because of the fact that there's so many other people that could probably use some knives in their collection more than my overflowing knife safe. So I try to kind of give everybody else the chance, but every once in a while I hop in, and I didn't expect it. So it was really super cool and kind of them. And so thank you, Kathleen. That was awesome. So yeah, Michael Threkeld is in here. What's up? How's it going? Appreciate you hopping in, man. Good to see you, brother. Got a lot of familiar names. That's awesome. We got 40 people in here, man. That's awesome. Incredible.
Gina's Reef. I saw that message. That's super exciting. I have no problem waiting a few weeks. And if you want me to come pick it up, or if you guys want to mail it, either way is perfectly fine with me, but thank you. So just to finish up on the design, basically I'm heavily inspired by American customs.
Mm-hmm.
So like your Brian Browns, your CMF, Horizon Machine Works, stuff like that. So a lot of my designs are going to follow the knives that I'm most drawn to. So, you're likely to see inspiration from like Gareth Bull, Nim knives. These are the makers that speak to me, like design after design I resonate with. And when I get them in hand, I resonate with them again. So that's, that American made custom. It's ironic because I like American made customs, and I'm getting, I'm just designing, knives for a Chinese company to mass produce. It's kind of tongue in cheek, but that's really what inspired the design.
That's awesome, man. Patina Turner, I just saw you in there. Thanks for hopping in, man. Appreciate you, Patina.
Thank you, Michael.
Let's see who else. Bluminati Ninja, always a pleasure. Blue's another one, by the way, Chris. That's like mod extraordinaire. Hooks us up with dropping our channel in all kinds of rooms and everything.
Awesome.
On point. So awesome. Appreciate you guys coming in, supporting the channel, hanging out with us for a little while. Knives are life. Just catching up with everybody here. Obviously hanging here with Sever 7. Chris is the Kodiak, so you all are familiar working with me in lives and everything like that usually. But Chris is the other half of the business, and he's hanging out with us tonight as well, which is awesome. And we're just kind of going over a little bit about Sever's prototype that he's got going on, and kind of the inspiration where he got some of the ideas behind it and stuff like that. So real cool conversation. Appreciate everybody tuning in for it too. So real quick, by the way, if you are not a subscriber to our channels, please subscribe. We are 358 before I started the live. So we're, still a small channel trying to grow. But I will tell you that Jimmy Crow gave us a knife for our 500 sub giveaway. It is a gorgeous Civivi knife, and I will show you all that in the future. But we're going to have a nice giveaway for 500 subs. So It's going to be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to growing this channel, hanging out with everybody, getting to know you all a lot more, and hoping that you all get to know us a lot more and what we're all about. So I appreciate you. Thanks, Fred, also for shouting out the thumbs up. Yeah, give us a like. That really does help the channel.
Thank you, handsome.
So thank you all for watching out for the channel, watching out for each other. Love this community. Can't begin to tell you how much all three of us on this screen probably owe a lot to this community. It's invaluable to us, and we've gained so much in friendship and knowledge and just so much. It's unbelievable. So please, I thank you all so much.
Sever has 1.7 and growing, and your channel's doing really well, man. I just want to say I've been watching you for a few years, and I've shared with you an email before that it's really meant a lot to me watching what you've done, because you've saved me from making purchases that I probably would have made otherwise. And it wasn't necessarily because the knife was bad or you gave a bad review. I could just look at it and go, oh, the things that you're saying are things that it wouldn't resonate with me, because again, knives are so subjective. And there are also times when something wouldn't have been on my radar, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go pick up that, right now, because and again, I love your format. And as Sam and I were starting off, you and I were chatting, and you've given us a lot of great advice to get started off. So again, thank you very much. So if you don't know Sever, get in and check out his stuff, because his formats are great. And now every single knife that I pick up, I'm going, all right, does it go
3 to 9?
Yeah.
Oh, that feels so good, man. That feels so good to hear that. And it makes me happy too that my reviews are bringing like real life value. I think that's probably the coolest thing as a reviewer. Like, and I'm sure you guys know this feeling too. It's like, who cares about subscriber count? Who cares about the likes? Did somebody actually make a buying decision based on what I had to offer them? Did they not make a buying decision based on what I said about a knife, right? Is the feedback I'm giving and providing actually adding value to the community?
Yeah.
And it's not often that you're told if it is or it isn't. People just watch the video, they like it, and then they go about their lives. So it's
and that's a great point. That's a great point, man. Just Chris and I talk about that all the time, about we don't want to sell anything for anybody, right? We're not trying to make the money from that. We're just trying to inform the community to make informed decisions based on the information we're finding, and whatever that might be, right? We're not a what do you call it? Monetized channel. We don't have discount codes. We're not affiliated to anybody. We stand behind the products that we truly believe in. We tell the truth when we're doing reviews on it. If we don't like something, we're going to point it out. And sometimes it's minute, right? Sometimes it's just, hey, I can use another 1/2 inch of jimping here. And sometimes it's like, you know what? There's a hot spot here and it sucks and I don't really like it. Or the pocket clip doesn't go in and out of the pants clean, right? I think everybody in here that's watched one of our reviews knows I use test pants on all my reviews, right? Does it slide in and out of the pockets all right? So you bring a really good point up, man, for sure.
No, I appreciate it big time, man. And just hearing that really, really warms my heart. I am a monetized channel. I do have some affiliate links, but I'll be honest, it's like, if I would recommend the knife, there's going to be a link for it below. But the companies that I'm the most passionate about, like I would say Spearhead EDC is one of them. Aurora Blade is another. Ketuo. I don't even have like I might have an affiliate link for Aurora Blade. I might, but most of these I don't even have affiliate links for. It's just really about, I mean, if I could, I would be a YouTuber full time. Like if I could do that, I would. Just to be transparent, right? Like if I could make a living off of doing this, I would. But there's something just so, I think, I don't know, it would feel icky to make $1 off being dishonest to somebody, right? Because like as a viewer of mine, you might not make your decision based on me, but hopefully your decision is at the very least informed by me. And if your decision's informed by me, it should be honest. regardless of whatever financial gain there might be for me. I can tell you, I just got a knife in and I hate it. It's the worst. I don't think I've ever been more upset with a knife or a company in my entire life. That review's coming soon.
Yeah,
but you will review it.
But I
right?
will absolutely review it and I'll give my honest take on it. And is it a knife I could make money on? Absolutely. It's by Scallywag Tactical, just so you guys know whenever it comes up.
I know the name. I've never handled one of them personally, so but I do know the name. I've probably in Instagram posts and stuff like that. So
yeah, nothing makes me soft faster than a G10 front scale for $150. D2 blade. Are we serious?
Matt is Factions in the house. What's up, Matty?
Hey, what's up, Maddie? How's it going, bro?
In, brother. Welcome to the channel. Made you a mod, my friend. Cool. Hope your live went well. Appreciate you giving me a nice little blessing and talk on that on your live earlier. By the way, man, that's real cool of you. I appreciate you for sure. So, yeah, you know, Sever, when you're honest, you have what I'm trying to think of a good word to use here, but
authenticity.
Yeah, authenticity is a good word, right? The last thing you want to do is have that sleazy used car salesman aura about you, because let's face it, we've got plenty in this community that want to come and hang out and check out stuff and whatnot. But if you're a sleazeball, nobody's going to want to come and trust you. When you put out a knife, they're certainly not going to trust you on that, right? So there's a lot that goes into it, and these people are more than consumers to me and to you. These people are our friends. These people are people we want to hang out with and talk shop, and just they are our kin in metal. Yeah. So it's yeah, I get what you're saying for sure, man. Yeah. You're 100% accurate on that.
There's a theme in the comments: honesty, on authenticity, integrity. All of those are popping up.
Yeah, absolutely. And those are all absolutely primo words for sure.
Yeah.
So, I did want to talk about a little bit about our project, I should say. It's not a product yet. It is a project. I'm sure you've all probably caught me in a live pumping up how I've got a knife in the works and I'm working on this. And, you know, Chris has talked about it in some of our videos of when, you know, when our design comes out and this and that, and we've talked about it for months, right? But there's not a lot to show. And I appreciate everybody's excitement around it, and I appreciate everybody looking forward to checking it out. So I wanted to give you all a little bit of an update on that. So we are we had a delay a few weeks ago. The lock bar on the lock side of the scales had a small problem that was creating rock lock. They had to remake all of the knives on the lock side of the scale. In addition to that is, well, we've got 6 different finishes, so they had to refinish all of those scales as well. They called last week. They told me that they are in assembly and retest. So I'm literally every night losing sleep. I hear my phone buzz, and I think it's an email with pictures and an update for me to bless the product and move forward, right? So any day now, and I mean that in the most literal sense, any day now, I'm going to get the "it's done, can we send them to you?" So I'm hoping before end of month that I have them in hand. When I do have them in hand, Chris and I are going to QC them a little bit for prototypes. Obviously, don't want to show you an inferior product, but go over them, take a look at them, take some pictures, take some videos. We'll show them on lives. We're going to show them all over the place for a little while. If you're going to be at a knife show we'll have one in our pocket. Heck, we'll probably have 2 or 3 in our pockets for you all to check out. I'll put them in your hands. So Fred, that is just the prototypes right now. as far as the prototypes go, I only know so far of one change that we're making. It's a minor change. It is when I drew the picture and in the excitement of chaos, the stop pin, I made it an external screw instead of putting an internal barrel. And it's just unnecessary hardware that I'm looking at, right? So I don't need to re-prototype. I could just tell them to change that. It's not a big deal. But that's the one change I do know that it is absolutely going to be changed. Other than that, it looks fantastic. It really does look absolutely dynamite. I've seen videos and pictures. I saw a video of our full black DLC version, and it sounds good. It drops nice. It looks comfortable in hand. I mean, it came out fantastic. Trouble Bunny, yeah, I'm absolutely going to reach out to Aries and talk to him about that. I think it would be really cool to be on Meet the Maker. I think it would be an honor. I love Aries. I think he's a great dude. I'm in the pass around group with him, and you know, I'll absolutely talk to him once we get it there. Just like I said, I want to dot my I's, cross my T's before I start showing them off to the public. If I show you all a inferior product, there's not going to be as much excitement there, right? I want to make it right. I want to make sure that you all are going to see no T6, bro, all T8. I promise. We don't believe in T6 here.
I'm pushing for even larger. I want to do a standard of T10 or greater.
And Chris, I'm not in disagreement with you. I think in the future we may be looking at doing some stuff like that, where we might be doing T10s and stuff like that. So it depends on the knife too. I think T8s are adequate for your normal everyday EDC knives, but if we decide we're going to put together something that's big, fat, heavy, hard user and whatnot, yeah, we're probably going to put some beefy hardware in there too. So
my Rask uses a 9.
Well, your Rask is, you know, let me tell you, first off, okay, Grimsmo and a bunch of wild guys, right? I mean, those guys are insane. Other than ceramic balls, they make everything in-house. Yeah. So, I mean, we're not quite there yet, bro.
Yeah. I just thought we should one-up them and go with 10s. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. So a little more detail about our project. Right now we have prototypes coming in 6 finishes. Our goal was initially to be 3 production finishes. We didn't know which ones yet. That's why we ordered 6 in 6 different finishes, 6 different blades, 6 different handles. We can mix and match and figure out what we wanted for our final productions. Here's where it got a little crazy. Chatting with people in these types of chat rooms, and I get people all over the place telling me, you need to make a purple one. You need to make a purple one. You need to make, okay, I got it. We need to make a purple one. So I already called Chris the other day and I said, look, man, I'm getting a lot of heat about not having purple like right on the forefront there. So need purple. Got it. So we're probably going to go 4 production finishes. And we'll see what happens from there. You know, there could be added more in a second run if it does really well. Brown Sugar, I hear you, sister. I know you want that purple. I got you, girl. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. So we're Jimmy, how about a purple one? Don't worry about it, man. We're going to get you purple. We are doing, titanium handles. They're going to be milled real nice, like a wave pattern on them. And then blade is going to be, as of right now, they're going to be Vanex. And this is where we wanted to actually talk to all of you. Vanex is obviously one of the most expensive steels in production steel that you can buy. You know, Magna Cut and Vanex are pretty much 1 and 2. Would you want us to keep moving forward with a production at Vanex, or would you prefer seeing another steel in there? I know a lot of you are S90V. I'm sure I'm going to see some M390s out there and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm a big Vanix guy. For me, corrosion resistance, I don't want to call myself a lazy knife collector, but I'm half lazy. I'm not going to lie. K390, interesting, Fred. That's an interesting thought right there. K390. Don't even know that we talked about K390, to be honest, Chris.
We didn't, but we absolutely could.
You would pay more for Magna Cut and not Vanix. Okay. Well, here's the thing, Adventure 50. So initially I had asked for Magna Cut, and at the time, all of the Magna Cut was taken up for Best Tech. And I have a feeling that there were a few big projects that were taking up their supplies. And so they said they could not do Magna Cut at the time. So we pivoted and went to Vanix. So that's why we went that direction. If we're thinking about doing anything at this point that's going to change it, more than anything, it's how do we give you a super steel and lower some of the costs? Because reality is an 8+ inch knife that is going to be 4 millimeters thick, that's going to have 2 huge patches of jimping, that is going to be milled titanium and all the beautiful finishes and everything. Reality is, look on the market where they're at, right? You're $300+ for those knives everywhere, right? I'm not trying to kill the community with the knife, right? I'm not going to be rich. Chris is not going to get rich. Sever's not going to get rich from his first knife either. Like we realize that. We also believe that our first knife needs to be what we call a prove me knife, right? And that's a knife that says to the community, we know what the hell we're doing. So I want to put out something that is reasonably affordable. And if that means that we're going to pivot from the steel that we chose to make something a little bit more reasonable, then we might do that. And that being said, I will say one other thing, and that is when you get to a lower steel, so I see, like William, I agree, 154 CM is a badass steel. I love that steel. But here's the thing, when you get into that realm, because the OEMs don't make that much money from it anymore, they make me order more. So right now, if I placed an order, they'd make me order 300 minimum. But if I go to 154, they're going to make me order 600. Now, I'd love to say I'm going to sell 600 knives, but let's face it, do I really want to bite off more than we can chew on our first knife? You know, Chris and I are real confident in our design. We really are. We believe that our design is fantastic. But as first-time knife makers, you can't bet that your first knife is just going to blow the doors off and sell 1,000 knives. So I think that's really what it comes down to, right? Is it just comes down to making logical decisions and making sure that we're taking care of the people that take care of us. S110V and S90V. S110V is interesting. I would love to do an S110, but I can tell you, one, it's not cheap. Two, is there is absolutely no way, shape, or form that we're going to get our hands on it. So
every Volvin EDC made a good point, and that's where I shook my head to no to the S110, is that a lot of people want the next new hard steel, but they've never sharpened it, or they haven't had to sharpen it. S110V is a bear to sharpen. S90, not so much. It's a great steel that is pretty easy to work with, but for super steel. But yeah, man, S110, that's what my PM2's in, and you know, it gets super sharp. It takes a great blade, but I would rather have something that is a little tougher, less chippy, and a little bit easier to put an edge on.
Yeah.
Have you guys considered LMAX as a less expensive alternative to Vanax? Yeah,
we've talked about that in the last few days, and it's on the table. I think when we get the prototypes and we put them out there, we plan to put some some surveys out, if you will, and have people kind of choose, right? Let's let the public speak what they want, right? That's what we're about. We want to give the consumers what they want. And so therefore, if you're going to choose that, then by all means, we're going to do that. If that's what they want, we'll put some options out there. But yeah, that make a good point on that. You brought up a good one on that, Sever. LMAX is an awesome steel. I love LMAX. So I wouldn't be opposed to having LMAX either.
Chris said,
economic steel, will Best Tech do a half and half? Best Tech will do a half and half, Fred. I've got to talk to them about doing some getting me some pricing on how they want to break things up. I've considered doing like a half of an order at S35 or something like that, and then the other half at like a super steel.
Even 154, I think, would be great, because a properly heat treated 154 is a phenomenal steel.
Phenomenal steel, yeah, absolutely. No,
I don't know Best Tech's quality at 154. I don't know if that's in there. I'm sure they're capable. They're phenomenal at what they put out. But again, everybody has their own niche on what they do best, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got an oven, but I can't bake, cookies very well, right? but I can make a decent banana bread, and so I think it's kind of the same way. I think that everybody has their piece that they know, they understand, they feel comfortable with, and they can lather, rinse, repeat, and off they go. Set the bald man, using the shampoo reference, but. Yeah, that's where I would go with that. Is I'd like to look at some of their stuff and consider that, because I think that's a good point by Fred is if we could do a 50-50, I'd be willing to buy more if that were the case, if we're able to split that off, and if we had the backing that says, because again, it's Vanex isn't in everybody's budget, MagnaCut isn't in everybody's budget, and I would love to put a grin to every hand.
Yeah, you are correct on that, and I think that would be really a good idea. And when they reach out, it's going to be something we're going to talk about. I think we're going to have a meeting with them, break down a lot more to what's going on there. So yeah, Berkeley's, we're still going, brother. We got a bigger turnout than I expected, and I mean, heck, I'm not complaining. I'm absolutely grateful that everybody came out to hang with us tonight. I was not expecting nearly 50 people to come into our live nice. On our first live. So incredible turnout. And again, thank you all for your time tonight. It's awesome hanging with you all.
Do you guys mind if I show something just really quick?
Sure, please.
We talked about purple a little bit. So just to satisfy the purple people, I wanted to hold on, let me
I immediately started reaching for purple. My light isn't good enough.
Was that the purple fat carbon Rosie?
Yeah.
Beautiful Rosie. Do you guys see that?
Yeah, that's sexy.
I hope the audio doesn't come through, because it's just like background noise. Can you guys hear that?
Yeah,
a little.
We can hear it, but it's fine. It's not a big deal.
There we go. But yeah, we went ahead and did a purple one. I mean, the knife community loves purple. It wasn't the exact shade of purple I wanted. It's a little loud, but it was important to me to have a purple one out there. I just know we have a lot of purple love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the one I want, sir. Thank you. Please.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I would close this screen out, but I've got all messages back here. So I didn't want to. Yeah. There's some other finishes though that are pretty sick.
Yeah. We have, so for our, we don't have a purple for our prototypes. We do have a blurple though. I was searching blurples out that I really liked, and I saw a picture of one, and I can't remember which one it was that had it, but holy crap, it was so sexy. And I was like, oh my God, I sent them a picture. I was like, I want this blurple. I was like, I want this blurple, and I want satin hardware on this thing, and I want it to just be completely sexy. So, you know, I'm looking for the email because God knows I have about 6,000 of them. From when you're dealing with China, and I'm sure you know this now yourself, Sever, when you deal with China, you're dealing through email back and forth as they're using translations and stuff like that in a lot of cases, right? And when you're doing that back and forth, it takes a lot to get a little bit of information across to the other party. And so, you know, it's taken 1,000 emails to do what a 20-minute conversation probably could have handled if it was. So there's challenges there and things like that. But I'm looking for the email to get all my finishes correct here, make sure that I'm saying correct what we have. But I know that we ordered a full DLC blade, DLC handle. I know that we ordered the blurple. I know that we have a satin blade with a belt satin finish and hand satin flats. I know that we have a stone wash. I know that we have a bead blast. I know that we have a gray PVD. And then there was one that I think we doubled up on the blade because there wasn't another finish to be had that either one of us were interested in. And the other one was like a bronze, of antique bronze handle. So I saw pictures. It was really cool. They give you, no joke, they give you like a 70-page book full of finishes. And Sever, I think I shared this when we were on the phone one time, right?
Yep.
It's wild. It is like the Macy's catalog around Christmas for freaking knife finishes. Every type of Damascus, fat carbon, G10s, anything you can think of, titaniums, milling patterns, all this crap, all in this big pamphlet that they send you in a PDF file. It's like information overload. And it takes you hours to filter through what you want because it's like, I need page 6A3 for this blade, and I need... It's bonkers, man. It really is. So
you should actually share that PDF with me. To be honest, I got very little input on the finishes. I told them I wanted one that had blue on it. I told them I had one that had purple on it. That was like the extent of the input I got to give. So yeah, it would be cool to see those options. Yeah, they said that they're going to do another round. So they're going to do 500 at first, then they're going to do another round of 2 different finishes. Those are going to be completely up to me, whatever finishes I want. So one's going to be, you know, hand satin or mirror. It's going to have zirconia everything, you know. That one's going to be much more expensive. But yeah, that's the difference for the audience is whenever you're funding your own project, you get limitless creative freedoms. Or near limitless, right? You get a Macy's catalog of creative freedoms. Whenever you sell a design, my real input came 1 in giving them the design, and then 2, they sent me the first prototype, which is on its way to Fred's. I actually get batch 2 of prototypes in about 2 weeks. So because I was like, well, you can't have this. Well, you need to fix this. You need to fix that. Like these are non-compromising. You have to fix these things. So they do another round of prototypes. They send it to me for approval. But that is like the extent of my input. So we're talking 2 totally different perspectives. Like I sent Kubi a design, which I don't think really anybody here has seen. I sent that off 14 months ago, and I got 1 update with a prototype, like it via email. And then I got another update with it's in production now via email, and it's been radio silence outside of that. You know what I'm saying? So like, thankfully Ketu was updating me like every couple of weeks, but you know, when you're a designer, you have to understand these companies work with so many designers like us, and it gets annoying. I'm not even mad at Kubi, but it gets annoying because like designers can be so uppity and kind of like up your ass about their designs. Like, hey, when is it coming to market? Or, hey, when do I get a prototype? Or, hey, did you guys do this right? Like, at some point, they just start ignoring you. And it's like your design will come whenever it comes. And like I said, I totally understand that. I get where they're coming from. I know I'm a pain in the ass to deal with because obviously I want my design to be the greatest thing that ever happened to the knife world.
I'll second that. You're a pain in the ass to deal with.
hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. But I mean, you have to be. Like, I mean, look at what you guys are doing with Best Tech.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you're biting your nails waiting for the email to come through. I do the exact same thing, and I didn't even fund the project. You guys have so much skin in the game that I can't imagine what it's like from your perspective.
That's it too, is that a lot of these changes it's a lot of money. And I think that's part of the thing that I didn't understand before getting into the business side. I didn't consider R&D costs, right? Like, okay, here's how much the knife cost, but how many prototypes did we buy to get it right and to go through things that we'll never sell, we'll never make any money off of it. And at the funding point that we're doing right now, it's all out of pocket for Sam and I, at this point. And so it's one of those things that we definitely want to get it right. But at the same time, we both have careers, we're not independently wealthy. And so, it's one of those things that we have to make the best decisions that we can make. And
Powerball disappoints us on a weekly basis.
I'm going to write a stern letter to the lottery officials soon.
I'm telling you, somebody keeps screwing us, that's for sure. But, it is stressful, right? I mean, I could tell you I have many meltdowns, and Chris probably walks me off of a ledge on a bi-weekly basis now, freaking out. But there's just something about having that control, right? I mean, so I think this, Sever, and for those of you that don't, so Chris and I have a second design that's been accepted as well. We have one that has been licensed to Concept, and they accepted it end of October. We signed the contract with them, and I sat and I waited for 2 months. Stayed completely quiet because they said they're backed up and it's going to take a little while. Okay, I'll be patient. So I think it was the day after Christmas, I sent them an email. I was like, hey, just following up, checking in. Hi, what's going on? They were like, nothing. We're still backed up. We'll let you know when we let you know. So we are, we're at their mercy. And, Fred, you're right. I've heard that from plenty of people. I talked to Paul Munko about that, and he said it took 2 years for one of his knives to get there. In the contract, it says I can kill the contract in 10 months. If they don't start producing in 10 months, that I can kill the contract. That being said, you have to look at it in a balance, right? You have to sit there and say, all right, I'm 10 months in, I can kill this contract and then start all over again. And then how long do I have to wait? Or do I have to just wait 2 or 3 more months and then it's going to start moving, right? So you have to kind of feather the gas pedal in this case a little bit to figure out what you need to do with that. So, and then again, I still don't know. At any point in time, they can turn around and change my liner lock to a crossbar lock, and they own it now. That's their design. It's no longer our design. It's their design. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But look, Chris and I are very active right now. I'm not even kidding you. You see all these papers? All these are designs. Okay, just so you know, these are all designs, and I've got a whole crap ton of them, and some of them are going to just stay in that folder and they're not going to get anywhere, and there's going to be other ones we're going to proceed forward with, and we've got some really nice ones that we're excited about. So,
Sam, is that your cedar you're flipping by chance?
It is the cedar. My cedar number 312 Zerk blasted Vanex. Picked this up. I was supposed to get a hog house, and hog house stopped taking orders the day I was going to place the order. So I just pivoted to another one that was high up on my list, and I wound up with a Rob Johnson cedar. But Fred, I have not seen the mini cedar yet.
It's a button liner lock.
Is it?
I like those.
I don't know what I'm gonna do next on. I want another Rob Johnson's, and I want the same finish on all of them. There's just something about this and I'm trying to. The lighting here is kind of tough to get. Oh, I'm boomering now myself.
There we go, doing old man stuff.
But it's like the cubes, the 3-dimensional cubes.
It's stunning in person.
So let me see if I can do this. There we go. It's so much easier when you have a full screen to work with, right? So I love this knife. I mean, I really was more than pleasantly surprised at how good this knife was. And I grabbed this. I was shocked that I wasn't going to have to wait. I wasn't going to have to order. It was just sitting there ready to buy. And I was like, okay. So, William, you're 61. Dang, dude. When you won that knife from us on Chris's giveaway that night, I honestly thought that I thought you were like younger than me. If I remember right, you said you were what, Air Force or something, and I was like, I've got a young guy here and whatnot. Like, but that's awesome, dude. Hey, 61's the new 51, right? It's all good, brother.
On the edge, prayers for you, man. I hope that things go well for you.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Prayers for you, for sure.
Oh, yeah, man, for sure. Sorry I missed that. I've been yammering my mouth off, and I didn't even see that. Yeah, absolutely. On the edge, brother. Definitely, we'll say prayers for you, my friend. And, I hope things go well. And, just keep us posted, man. I mean, when something bad like this happens, community support and friends support and stuff like that is great medicine. We're here to lift your spirits whenever we can, brother. So
I typically say in about every video that I end, and I mean this, that I appreciate walking life out with you guys, right? Like the community of friends that I've met and developed through this journey and the hobby. It's been fantastic. I met some amazing people I never would have met before. And it's been very rewarding. And, as I said, outside of work and things like that, like where do adults go to meet new friends?
Yeah. Yeah.
It
is hard.
It's
not like school anymore, right?
Yeah.
Side note, while I'm thinking of it, because I did see our numbers drop a little bit here and there. So I know people are probably going to hop to other channels, and some are going to go to bed and stuff as we're after 10 o'clock Eastern time here. Next Wednesday night, 9 p.m., I just wanted to let you all know we have another special guest coming on next week. Casey Spearon from Tempest Knives is going to be joining us on the channel next week to hang out. It is the night before he drops his new knife, the Tornado. And I have a couple of them here. I'm going to pop on screen here and show you guys. But I just thought that it would be a great opportunity for Casey to talk about his knife a little bit, hang out with us. He is an awesome dude. He's a great guy. And I've gotten to know him recently a lot more and enjoy his conversation. So, this actually happens to be Chris's knife. I picked it up for him. This is the Firestorm version. So flame anno, stonewash blade, 154 cm. It's got this micro boomer. Here we go. It's got this micro flipper on it, which works really, really well. And it's a 6.5-inch knife. It flicks real nice. It's got super action on it. And these are really reasonably priced for titanium 154. You're looking at like 140 for these things. and I think it's $150 for the DLC version. And if you use code knifesfast, you save 10%. So if you're interested in this, it's an awesome little EDC knife. I carried it to work the other day. I even dropped a video about it, me sitting in my office fidgeting this thing. So if you have a need for a 6.5-inch EDC knife at a reasonable price, check it out. January 15th, 1 p.m. Tempest Knives, and then they're going to have a dark mode version, and they're going to have TPK. So traditional pocket knives is going to have the 80s camo carbon version on theirs. So if you're in the market for it and you're looking for a new knife at 6.5 inches or so, awesome little knife. And I'll pull out the other one as well here. I've got the other one, which is called the water spout version. So please, if you're free next Wednesday at 9 o'clock, Casey will be on with us. We'll talk a little bit more. This is the water spout version. It is bead blasted blue anno hardware and a belt satin finish blade. So you know what? I keep doing this and I'm trying to fit in this little box here, right? This is so much easier. So really, really nice. T8 hardware everywhere. Fantastic knife. And really, really fun, great flipping action on this thing. Good action. Really, really like this knife. And again, if you have big hands, I'm a double XL hand. Right, for a 6.5-inch knife, I can get four fingers on here, and I still got the choil to go right here, so I can choke up and get even more room. It's got incredible jimping on it as well. Again, January 15th, 1 p.m. Check them out. They're coming in seven different versions, which, bless his heart for wanting self-punishment and doing 7 finishes. I certainly don't want to do 7 finishes on our knife, Chris. That sounds like a logistical nightmare, but Casey's got his house in order and we don't yet. So, but check it out. I just wanted to, I want to shout out Casey. I wanted to let you all know that we're going to be doing some cool stuff and bringing some folks in, week in and week out. We're going to try our best to have a guest come in and hang out with us, or maybe a couple guests. I'm going to talk to, let's see. I want to talk to Lefty too. I bet you Lefty would hop on here. You guys want to see Kevin Johnson from Devo Knives? He'd be a fun guest to come on here. You never know what the hell's going to come out of his mouth, right? So yeah,
Lefty's
That's
right.
what she said.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I mean, right? That's what she said. Yeah, no, look, Kevin is awesome. Colin is a good dude too, man. I mean, we got to hang out with those guys at Blade Show for a little while and talk to them, and both incredible human beings. And I value the friendships that we've built with the community, with these people. They've helped Chris and I immensely during our journey through learning how to become a knife company. I can make a beautiful knife. I can design a beautiful knife, right? I know how to make friends on here. I've made friends with all of you. I just don't know how to run the business aspect of it. And asking people like Jared Neves and Kevin Johnson and Casey Spearon, those guys have been invaluable people who have been more than willing to share their knowledge with me. Talking to Sever, we're going to launch a website pretty soon. And I talked to him and he's like, if you need some help, man, just let me know. Right. Like, that's just what it's all about. We love the fact that people are so willing to be helpful like that.
Fred's asking about Blade Show Texas as well.
Blade Show Texas. Yeah, I'm not going to get to Blade Show Texas this year. Fred, I want to go. I think I'm going to do NYCKS. I have family there that did not get to see us for Christmas because my daughter got the flu. And it's an opportunity for me to kind of make up a little bit of time there as my parents get older, and you don't know how many more times you're going to see them, right? So I'm going to take the opportunities I can get and I'm going to go out to NYCKS this year and hang out with my dad. So I think Chris and I are going to drive out there and hang out there for that time. So this year, no. Next year, pretty sure we're probably going to do 2 blade shows next year. I think at that point we're going to be in production. It's just going to kind of be necessary that we're there. And we'll definitely be Blade Show Atlanta. We will not miss Blade Show Atlanta. Fred, I know you're going to be skiing, man, and that sucks. I really want to hang out with you. I know we're going to hang out with Adventure 50. I think Ray's going to probably go to NYCKS as well, so we'll hang out with him as well. Yeah, I will definitely see you in Atlanta, brother. We're looking forward to it. We really got so much out of Atlanta this last year. We've been to the Blade Show a couple times. The first time we went as consumers, and you know what, Chris, how long did it take for us to blow our money before we were like, durr, and we had a bunch of shit knives that nobody wanted?
Well, I mean, 7 minutes. But
no, I said, how long did you last with your money?
7 minutes.
Oh, okay. My bad. Yeah, 7 minutes. This last Blade Show, we went in with a little bit of a different purpose. We did a lot of research beforehand. We went in with the intent of, yeah, we're going to be consumers, but we're also going in there because we're starting a business and we need to start making connections. We need to start learning who do we speak to and how do we do these things. And so it was a very educational trip. But I'll say this.
It was a very expensive trip as well.
It was still a very expensive trip. Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, Chris. I mean, both of us still spent thousands of dollars there.
Yeah, I went over budget by 4 digits. Yeah.
Kevin Smith and Knives, what up, my dude? Thanks for hopping in here, brother. Appreciate you.
I've got something coming up from Reich. I kind of want to show off. I think it's for sale, but I don't think many people know about it yet.
Yeah.
Let me kind of maneuver myself in such a way.
Hang on a second. Let me see if I can
full screen me.
Yeah. How do I full screen you?
I don't know. Let's see if I have the option. Nope, I can't do it.
Here, let's do this.
Oh, that works. Hey, sweet. Okay, so this is, what do they call this one? Oh, the Viper S. So let's see if I can get it in the light a little bit better. The thing's got a wicked grind on it. And it's just a super dope knife overall. Action on it is spectacular. I don't know if it'll pass the 369 test. I don't think it will because it's still pretty new, so it needs a little bit of coaxing. But just a stunning knife from Reich. Really big fan of this thing. It's got the ball on the pocket clip. You know, we've got kind of a faux integral, right? It's a seam construction, so it's not an integral, but faux integral, kind of a dark blast on the tie scales, bead blast on the blade, and then even this looks like a hollow. It's not. This is a flat grind still, but just yeah. And I thought it was hollow too, but then like just because they made the middle of the blade so fat, it kind of gives the illusion that it's a hollow, and it's just a flat grind. But still, it's a pretty dope knife overall. Reich's execution, fit, finish, and everything like that is spectacular. So,
how's that pocket clip? Because I've seen a couple of them with the ball that it felt gimmicky and it didn't seem to add any value going in and out. And I've had a couple that have been really good. What's your thought process on that one?
I just opened it, so good question. I'm wearing pajama pants though.
That doesn't quite hang the same, does it?
Doesn't quite. Let me see if because I can't hold that. I would hurt myself.
No, you're good. I just didn't know because
see if I can do old man stuff. All right, so there we go. Will it go in the pocket? With a little bit of struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of struggle it'll go in, but not easy. So, I mean, it gives a little bit of a ramp, if you can see that. I mean,
Yeah.
but
Is that a ceramic ball?
it feels like a ceramic ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a little tough. I could say on the pull out, it was really easy, but a little tough on the way in. But you can do things like you can flip it from the front flipper, like this is the rear, this is the front. You can kind of get in there and flick it out like that. So it's just just a dope little, I think $300 knife. But if that's not something I don't think many reviewers have shown yet, but it's something that's like you'll see on Metal Complex, you'll see it on Knives, you'll see it on Stasa and stuff like that. Just a cool knife.
Yeah.
Metal Relic Art joined. What's up, man? Thanks for hopping on. We're just hanging out here, chatting up some knives and whatnot. So appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us. So thank you.
What's up, Metal Relic? How's it going, bro? And for everybody in the chat that I haven't said hi to, I see all of you. All the names are familiar. There's a single person here that I don't know. Haven't seen in the chat. So really good to see all of you guys.
Yeah. And for those of you that have come in later than when the last time I said this, everybody that's friends of the channel that we are familiar with, I'm making you all mods. One, please, if you have a channel, drop your link in here, right? I mean, we're all trying to lift each other up and grow together as a community. Feel free to do that. You're welcome to do it. And then on top of that is just help me police the room. If we get some trolls or something like that, give them the boot. We don't want schmucks in here. We just want to hang out and have fun with our friends and talk about the things we're passionate about and, learn a little bit about stuff. So appreciate you all coming
Lakeside,
in.
what's up, bro?
I'm going to have my boomer moment. Sever, what do you think about flip joints? Because I'm growing to be a fan and Sam hates them. Where are you at?
I can't do a slip joint thing.
So I have come to really enjoy slip joints. It took me a long time to get there, but I've come to where I don't look at a slip joint like I look at other knives. So because it's hard to compare, right? Like it doesn't have an instant gratification to it. It doesn't have a super like fidgety thing about it, right? It's old school. I talked about this in a video of mine, but a slip joint is kind of a reminder of the past when things weren't instant gratification. Everything was intentional. So like with the slip joint, you have to pull it out of your pocket. You have to pull it out of its pouch. You have to engage it at the half stop. You have to engage it at the full stop. You have to use the knife. You have to close it two-handed at the half stop and then completely close it. You have to put it back in the pouch and then you have to put it back in your pocket. It's very intentional at every like layer of the knife, but also it does have a fidget factor to it in the aspect of the half stop and the whole stop.
I will say this. I like the walk and talk sound. Okay. Like a good walk and talk. I really do like it, but the manual aspect of it kills it for me. I just saw Fred say I'm a fidgeter, right? Yeah. Like I'm the same way, Fred. If I can't sit there and fiddle with it and it doesn't have like free motion, it drives me nuts.
It's interesting because my experience with knives has just become a mirror into my soul, right? And I've been going through that, and I was telling Sam the other day, I started to write a review on how I felt about the large Sabenza. So I recently picked one up, and I realized that the action of just a bearing driven big detent knife with great action like that, there's something that's very stimulating about that. And then when that slow flick of the Sabenza and that slow roll up, that's regulating. It's not stimulating. And so for me, somebody with ADHD that I'm not medicated, those two things play back and forth because, I mean, everybody on here has heard Sam and I both just flicking nonstop, while we sit here. But as I'm sitting on work calls and things like that, I can't do that all day. And so the Sebenza was a good interaction. And I started realizing it made me think and feel differently when I was interacting throughout my day. And then, I saw some reviews on some slip joints and I decided to buy a couple and try them out. And so, this one is the Stumpfish by Advanced Knife Pro. And I picked it up in this one. And then the other one I picked up was the Ohio River Jack. And I realized that if I start and stop one of these, then I get both. I get that stimulation and then I get regulation almost throughout. And it's been interesting if I'm going into the office and I'm in a board meeting or something along those lines, I'll be in an office just opening and closing it. Mm-hmm. And then I put it in my pocket and my concentration's great. If I'm working from home and I've got a project and a deadline, I'll pick this up and do it a couple times. And now my concentration is great. It's the fidgeting of knives really is regulated a lot within me. And it's like, it's interesting because I've grown to have an appreciation and it has nothing to do with cutting. They've changed the way I've worked, but not the way that I cut.
I 100% agree. And I like the term regulation. So I know a lot of people say this, so I'm just going to hop on and say it, but I've got ADHD, and the fidgeting factor of a regular knife like that Rosie is super stimulating. I could sit there and do that for hours, as I assume most of you can. But there's something kind of like what you said, regulating about it being a slow roll like a Sebenza, which I've never experienced before. So after the honeymoon phase, I would love to check that out. But the slow roll of a Sebenza or the intention behind using a slip joint, I think those things that slow you down can be appreciated as much as the fidgeted knives that kind of speed us up.
Yeah. I'll be happy to shoot off the Sebenza to you if you want to check out the slip joints. I'll throw those in the box as well, and
that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
And Chris, I got to send. So he wants me to send him the Jericho, and he wants me to send him the Offender.
So we'll get together and just do one package.
Yeah, so
I'm literally spoiled by you guys. I want everyone in the audience to know this. These two spoil me beyond belief, and they help me see knives that I otherwise would not ever have a chance to see. And I'm going to shout out Mopedi because she's in here. She's the other half of that. So I have a full DLC Koenig Arius that she's allowing me to review. So I can't thank you guys and not thank her in the same breath. But you two absolutely bless me with knives that I would never have a chance to check out. My channel would never, ever see these knives. My subscribers wouldn't see them through me or my take on them. So just know that it is deeply appreciated that you guys literally send me thousands of dollars in knives to review, that you trust the mail system that much and you trust me that much to return those back to you unharmed.
We trust you way more than the mail system. That's for damn sure.
Thanks for the kind
more than the mail system.
And thanks for the kind words, brother. But we could say the exact same thing. Hey, Fred, everything that Sever just said, we want to say to you.
I can literally tell. And Sever, I mean, Fred sent you a bunch of knives too, right? And
Fred has sent me probably. I would say he's probably sent me 35 to 40 knives. What segregates you and Mopedi though is that you guys specifically send me multi-$1,000 knives. Fred sends me a tremendous amount of knives, and hopefully soon will send me multi-$1,000 knives. But you and Mopedi trust me with $3,000 purchases, and that's insane to me, right?
But, I mean, look, I've got two. You just sent me a roll from that you had from Fred. I just got your box yesterday, right? And then somebody else had another box, and Fred told them to send it to me. So now I've got 2 of Fred's rolls here that I'm working through
I actually had 3 of his rolls. I was holding at one time probably 21 knives of Fred's, and I mailed you guys out a roll, and then I mailed 2 rolls out to Titanium Justin, and 2 more rolls out to I can't remember the name. It was you guys, Titanium Justin, and I can't remember the other person. But yeah, Fred, and I say this all the time whenever I review Fred's knives, he supplies half the knife channel or the knife community with knives for their channels.
So help with gadgets just said the same.
I can't begin to say thank you enough to Fred. I mean, he's helped us incredibly grow this channel by giving us some content and us not having to recycle our own collections over and over again. I have to thank you for getting us into the pass around group. That's been invaluable just to get our hands on a couple things, but also to have access to the people that you have access to in that chat group, right? So when you're sitting amongst some of the giants in the industry and being able to talk to them and ask them and learn from their successes is incredible. So again, we got to thank you for that too, because you were the one that put our name out there and vouched for us on that.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate that. But
for sure,
yeah,
it is humbling to sit there amongst kind of like, because you have like Middle Complex and then Melissa Backwoods, and they're massive, right?
Yeah.
Like nobody has direct access to
those are the super giants.
But right below them is a tier of creator between like 20 and 60,000 subs. And those guys are like massive, right? Those guys are the other giants in the industry. And those are the people that are in that chat. And I'm just constantly humbled, by, them sharing their experience, them sharing their resources and their knowledge and things like that. I'm just constantly like, I'm celebrating, finally hitting 1,700 subs, and these guys are in here, like the algorithm took 2,000 of my subs away, and I'm like, you guys are huge. That's crazy work. So
that's when Casey was talking about it the other day, and he was like, I see me drop 15 and I gained 20, and I'm like, that takes me a month. Like right now, I'm still at that point where it takes me a month. So, it's pretty wild. There's a couple of them obviously in between there, right? You've got like the Knives that are in the 300,000s, but you get the lefties and the KCs in there that are, 50,000, 60,000. You have Bob's Nerdy Knives in there who's over 10,000. So you've got people where it's like, these are people where you aspire to get to their success levels, and they are incredibly helpful people. Like they give you so much. You'd think that they'd be less approachable, but they're completely the opposite. They go out of your way. I mean, look, we're a little channel. I said earlier, we were going into this, we were 358 subs, and Casey Spearon, who has nearly 50,000 subs, is coming on our station, on our channel next week on our live to hang out with us. So, where that tells you the character of a guy that he is. So, awesome stuff. And Adventure 50, he's just coming up to 3,000. So if you are not following Ad 50, Adventure 50, give him a follow. Let's get him to 3,000. That guy works harder than hell. He is week in and week out on his lives. He's always giving away. He's always super kind. I love being a part of his community and being on his channel week in and week out. So if you're not subbing for Adventure 50, please subscribe to his channel. He's such a good dude. And he's got great stuff. So
I would say a big shout out, especially people that are hovering around 3,000, because every phase of YouTube is its own grind. And, I'm at 1,700, and I can say that it's been, it's going to sound silly, but those who have channels, if I've had to sacrifice a tremendous amount of like time, money, resources to keep the channel going. And I say that to say that when you find those YouTubers that are at like 2,500, 3,000, 4,000 subs, they've made maximum sacrifice to get what they're getting, and they're receiving no payout for it. When you find somebody that's at 2,000 or 3,000 subs, they're in it for the love of the game. Like, you know, you find somebody at 1,700 subs and they might flake out, you know, because they haven't put their time in. Like, you know, I could totally flake out and just say, F it, I'm done. But you find somebody that's like at 2,500, 3,000 subs, that person is like, they've paid more into YouTube than they've gotten back by far. You find people that are at like 20,000 subs, it's like they're making some money, they've put their time in, they're doing great, but they're probably here to stay. But I think those trailblazers at 3,000, 4,000, I think those guys, they're at that point where it's like, you've sacrificed a lot of time. You've spent a lot of money. You've given a lot of yourself to the channel, and you haven't gotten anything in return yet. You're in here because you love what you do.
And right? Jen Blaze, you are dead on the money, right? It is not for the faint. You know, I work my 9 to 5, 8 to 5, whatever. You know, I manage a team of telecommunications engineers over 3 states in the Midwest, and we support 8 different sales teams. And when I'm done with that and I'm done managing my guys, I hang out with my family for a few hours, and then I go right back to the office that I've just spent, you know, all day in, and I go back to work, whether that's drawing knives, whether that's sitting here on lives, hanging out with you all, which don't get me wrong, I love doing. But you know, it is work still, right? We still are working. We still are pushing, grinding, staying up late, doing a whole lot. It costs money when, you know, we got to send stuff to people. We're not compensated for this. So when I send something out, you know, that comes out of my pocket to pay for the shipping. And I mean, I'm gladly doing it, but you multiply that over 6 months and a year and 2 years, and that's an awful lot of money. So you're 100% correct on that. It is not for the faint. It is a grind, and you do it for the love. You really do. You have to do it for the love, because if you don't, you're in the wrong game, and you're just going to run yourself ragged and eventually just shut down.
Yeah,
it's just not going to work for you.
I don't think a lot of people realize that the shipping cost is almost like buying a pretty nice knife every single month.
Yep. Yeah. No, you're not wrong. You know, hanging out with Darkwater last night, and he was talking about the Civivi, the Isham Civivi, and I went and was looking at them, and they have one on like Amazon. It's like $100 or something like that, and I'm like, damn, that's like shipping for the next 2 weeks, right? Like now you start to think that way.
Darkwater annoed this, man, and he did such an amazing job. Like, and again, I know it's not going to come up because of my camera system, but man, he deleted the flipper, annoed this, and his.
Dude, that's the mahi anno he does. That's like his signature anno. He does such a good job with that, man. He's like, I dig his stuff. He really does good. Yeah, you're right, Fred. It's the crest. And Darkwater did a badass job on the crest that he got. So Gecko did do a great job with that. Yeah, I dig that knife. And Chris, that's not a big knife, right? I mean, I handled it once, but it's been a minute.
No, I mean, it's
7 inches.
Yeah, probably close to 8.
Is it really that big? I thought it was even smaller than that.
It's probably a little under 7. Yeah. Or to me, a little under 8. I mean, somewhere 7.5 maybe. You know what?
Well, I know Fred doesn't like big knives, so when he says it's a great knife, I immediately know that it's sub 8 knife. I know, you know, I know the size that we're talking, because, you know,
right at 7.5.
Okay, yeah. So that's about
that's
right.
Like Fred's max.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it's you're spot on though with what you're saying, Sever. It is a grind. It is a lot of work. It is another job. I saw adventure. Yeah, YouTube is my third job. I have your day job, then you have your photography business, and then YouTube, right? This is kind of my third job as well, right? I do my day job. Then I have my the knife business where I'm sitting there and I'm drawing knives, and that's something that nobody else is really seeing except for Chris. And then
Thank you, son.
Obviously as my business partner, and then after that it's the YouTube channel, and Chris helps me do content and stuff like that, but usually I'm the one running the social media. I'm the one doing that kind of stuff. So whenever you're talking to Wyvern Kodiak on Instagram or YouTube, you're talking to me.
It's always the Wyvern.
Yeah, it's always the Wyvern. So, Paul Mills it makes me laugh every time. He says, Wyvern Kodiak, the good Kodiak was what he used to say for the longest time. I said, finally I corrected him. I said, you do know I'm the Wyvern, I'm not the Kodiak. And that created a whole storm in the Mattis faction channel one night where they started trying to figure out what the hell I was talking about. And it was like a 15-minute bit of who's on first before they finally figured out we were two separate people. So that was hilarious. Very, very good time.
Yeah, or Lefty's just like, okay, I know it's not both of you. Who's here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that night that he was on live, he goes, oh, hey, Wyvern Kodiak, is it both of you? No, it can't be both of you. It's just one of you, right? I was like, yeah, it's just one of us.
It's not like two of you are sharing a keyboard or something like that. Yeah, it's definitely just one of you guys.
I mean, Chris and I hang out a lot. We see each other pretty frequently, but he's got a family and I've got a family, and we've got work and stuff like that. So, we're in separate spaces more times than not. It's just the way it works when you do that. And I mean, you understand that. So it's fun, man. It's fun being a part of this community.
It is a lot of fun. It's tremendously rewarding. Like I said, whenever Kodiak, whenever you said that, you found value in some of my content, like, I'll be honest, my channel financially with shipping and like I have a huge giveaway coming up at 2,000 subs. My channel on average cost me probably about, with shipping and everything, I'd say I probably spent about $550 a month. Yeah. I see nothing from I see no, like, any profit I get, it goes right back into the channel, and that's very, like, it's so little, it's ridiculous. Like, everything comes out of pocket. And then if you, like, for you guys, if you factor in not only time for YouTube and social media, but also your design time, right? And then all the stuff that you do that doesn't see the light of day. Like, how many videos have I recorded? I'm sure you guys are doing the same thing where you go back and you watch it. You're like, I'm not putting this out. Nobody's ever going to. It's like, I had one video, I think I started recording and I was like, hey, everybody, this is my 7th time introing this video because I'm an idiot. Okay, let's get into the review.
Yeah. So
right. So it's like,
speaking of the devil, by the way, Darkwater just hopped in here. What's up, Darkwater? What's up, brother? Good to see you.
Hey, Darkwater, what's up, man?
Chris was just showing your crest knife right there. We were just singing your praises on that badass anno job you did, man. So appreciate you coming in and checking out and hanging out with us for a few minutes, man. I know you're a busy character, but always happy to have you hanging out with us, man, for sure. So for those of you that don't know Darkwater, which I'm pretty sure you all know because he's been around the block for a while, but if you don't, man, sub his channel too. He does great stuff. He does incredible anno. He does a bunch of really cool videos and stuff like that. He does a weekly live show. So yeah, man, Darkwater's an awesome dude. Met him at Blade Show last year, and we've been friends ever since, and grateful for that, man. He is an incredible human being, and I'm proud to call him a friend as well. So
I think I walked away with a combination between the two of Tenable and Concepts, like 5 of them from Blade Show, because he's like, and look at this one, and look at this one, and look at this one.
So there's 2 things that I love about Darkwater that I think make him an exceptional individual. One is he's honest to a fault. Even if things are not going to go in his favor, he'll sacrifice to make sure that what he's saying is 100% honest to what he believes. And I know a lot of people say they do that, and I'd like to think that I'm a person that does that too. But we all think that way about ourselves. But from watching him as much as I have, you're getting like exactly what is on his mind is what you get. The other thing that I think is really admirable is I remember Darkwater before he was doing mods, and I was blown away because every skill that he wanted to have that he didn't have, he went and got. Right. So it's like he didn't know how to do a hand satin rub on scales. So he went and he figured it out. He didn't know how to do flipper deletes. So he went and he found that individual skill. He learned it and now he can do it. So like a lot of people sit down and they think it'd be cool if I knew how to do this or that. Whereas he is the type of person that is like, okay, this is the next skill I need to acquire. So I will simply do so and acquire that skill.
Yeah.
So those are two reasons I think Darkwater is a pretty spectacular individual.
Yeah, he really is. And for those of you that don't know, he also has a not-for-profit called Restoring the Bond, and it's incredible. I highly recommend that you check that out. Darkwater, I made you a mod. Can you do me a favor? And could you put the Restoring the Bond information in chat for everybody? It's such a great cause and a great program that you run there. And, I'd be grateful for you to share the information with the group, man, please.
Huge advocate for veterans too.
Yeah,
veteran,
and that's what that is. That's a veterans organization that he runs. So we are all grateful for those that have served and are still serving, and we appreciate you. So thank you to those that have served and are still serving. I just shout that out as well. So thank you very much. We get to do what we do because you all allow us to do that with your sacrifices. So incredible.
Yeah,
awesome.
Huge shout out to any vets that are in the chat. Darkwater, the vet, also. So nothing but, respect and appreciation for my brothers and sisters that have served or are serving. Your sacrifice is never unacknowledged and unappreciated by the three of us, at least.
Yeah. Amen, brother. I thank you for that, Sever. So, man, I said we were going to go an hour. We're going 2 now, and this is what we said right earlier, Chris. Once we start rolling and rapping, but I also didn't expect the turnout we were getting. So, this community has just left me in absolute awe. I wanted to show you guys something, though. It's kind of funny. So when we went to Blade Show last year, I told you we had some CAD design work on paper that we were showing people like what a drawing was that we were making a knife. And then the guy that did the CAD 3D printed our knife for us. And I wanted to show you guys what our original design looked like on this, because I think, I don't know, it's interesting to see how it's progressed and come along over
a lot
time.
of evolution.
Yeah, it is an absolute. So this here, it was supposed to be a crossbar lock, and we decided that wasn't going to happen. And then it was supposed to have replaceable inserts, inlays on the scale, so that you can take it out and basically change it how you want. If you're feeling like purple one day, you change them in and out, and that was what the original design was. So this is what the printout is, right? This is the blade. Sorry, this isn't a mechanically accurate knife, obviously, but that's the blade shape. Now that has not really changed at all. There is going to be jimping all the way from the spine to here. Then there's a small gap, and then there's going to be more jimping that goes down the swoop, so that if you're out here on the knife, you can get yourself really locked in. The other thing is you can see that right now this choil's kind of a big sloppy mess, and the only way to really comfortably do it would be to trigger grip it. So we had them cut away this and lower this down, and now it is a beautiful full finger choil that you can lock in like this. And this knife is just going to be, I think it's going to be an ergonomic dream come true, and it's going to give you so many different hand positions to be able to put yourself into. So hopefully we'll be able to show it off before the end of the month, but this is what is, yeah, and I'm covering where the crossbars are for a reason, because it's no longer that, it's a frame lock now. But this is basically the profile of the knife. So I hope you all are as excited as we are. It's going to be an absolute awesome, badass knife, and it's going to be a lot of fun to put it in your all hands. So
yeah, you know, I'm going to touch on that a little bit, because when we first started, you know, it was back and forth, because it was early enough that I hadn't discovered mechanical soul yet and what I really enjoyed. And I started spending a lot of time. I carried a 940 Osborne for a long time, and it was super convenient, and I valued efficiency more than about anything else at that point in time. And so Sam's like, okay, well, I carry a bug out. I get behind that. So we started to do that, and then started talking about some other things about, you know, durability. And I've never personally popped an Omega spring, and I know others hadn't, but I really wanted to be able to have very safe opening and closing, you know, one-handed. And Sam's like, well, let me go to work on this. And then he really came up with a really good design that was very similar to the ram lock, but it was like, he did a couple of tweaks on it that I thought was going to improve the ram lock sufficiently. So we sent it off to Microtech to try to get some answers to say, hey, is this far enough away from what you're doing? We don't want to cause any problems legally. And, you know, that they refused to look at it, just gave us a threat that if we did do it, then they'd sue us.
Thanks for joining Adventure 50. Appreciate you coming in and supporting the channel and hanging out with us tonight, man. You are awesome. Looking forward to hanging out with you on your next live as well. So have a good night, and we'll talk to you soon, brother.
Thanks, sir. But so we had what we thought a good design. So this evolution, and again, that was a lot of CAD work. You know, it was a lot of drawing from Sam's part. It was a lot of sending it off to our CAD engineer to tweak and do stuff and get things right. And again, it's an invent. You know, it was an invention. So getting that thing right in CAD is a little difficult, because it's, you know, we got to really think it through. And you know, so
taking a tangent for a second, you know, first off, the knife took me 90 hours of drawing, 90 hours to draw this knife. And the reason why is because, one, I had no experience drawing a knife and understanding the mechanics behind it in a way that made sense to get it into CAD. So I was learning how to do what needed to get done so that somebody else can do my job or do their job for us, right? And Jake from Have a Nice Day, Jake Knives, Australia, guy makes the Fugly is one of his knives. He's got a bunch of them out, right? He's a great designer, but a great human being. And he had said, hey man, look, your pivot point sucks. You're nowhere near right. Let me teach you how to do this.
But he said it in a very nice way.
No, he kind of didn't. He said it in the most Australian, blunt way you possibly could.
He meant it nicely.
You're a fucking stupid wallaby, and you need to get this. You don't know how the hell to freaking figure out a pivot point, you moron. And so,
that was surprisingly good.
It wasn't it. Thank you. But he basically called me out on it, and then I just said, "Look, man, I'm learning. I'm new. Teach me." And he did. And you know, bless his heart, He was a great teacher, taught me how to figure out where pivot points are and best ways to do things. And I grew incredibly fast as a designer because of some simple knowledge. And then just reaching out to others and just nitpicking, hey, you know, teach me how to do this. How come I can't get here? And whether it's loot, whether it was dark water, whether it was the unprofessional dad with just input, whether it was talking to Chris, whether it was reaching out to Lefty or Jared Neves or Tri-State EDC, every one of these people have helped us along the way somewhere with some input at some point. And every one of them, I can sit there and say that this knife is a culmination of what this community is all about. And that's that this knife has been built by the community. Essentially, I willed it through my paper and pencil, but it was their input and help that got me to make it accurate enough to get it into CAD to turn it into what it's turning into now. So, you know, sorry to steal the thunder for a second, Chris, but I thought it was important to mention this.
Yeah, and because you know, I think there's something, and I'm, you know, I think when we start looking and trying to figure out what something should be priced at, there's a lot of things that people don't see in that, right? Like I never even considered, like I mentioned prototyping earlier, the amount of hours and getting it right. And, you know, the really cool thing is you acknowledge is the number of people that have zero reason to help us that said, let me help you, you know?
Yeah.
Jake
and
had zero.
I'll tell you one of the biggest names that helped me. Okay. Couldn't believe this person helped me, but he went out of his way to help me. And Chris, you know this, and I don't think I told anybody else this. Okay. But Ray Laconico. Okay. I was trying to figure out something, and I asked Ray how he does it on his. And instead of just brushing me off, because I mean, this guy could do that, right? I mean, he's a made man in the knife industry. Instead, he turned around and sent me a video. Like, not a video of something, like he took it from his cell phone. He set it up in a post, and he's like, hey, man, this is how I do it. And he showed it to me. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I just learned like a private class from Ray Laconico. Like, I mean, talk about getting lightheaded and a little bit like starstruck. Yeah, that was me. I went all fangirl for a minute, and it was ridiculous. Yeah. I called up Chris like a 16-year-old girl with her first kiss. I was like, oh my God.
You look like me when I took a picture with Ethan Becker. Yeah.
Dude, Ethan Becker, that's another funny story, right? Change the choil and don't change another effing thing.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's what he told us when we handed him the 3D printed model in Blade Show, and Ethan Becker, who's an absolute legend, he turns around and says, "This is a really cool knife. I really like the blade shape. I like the handle. Ergonomically, it's comfortable. It's great size. I like the locking mechanism you got on here. Blah 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 blah. The choil needs some work. Fix the choil and don't change an effing thing." And Chris and I looked at each other and said, that is the quote from this trip, from this point forth. For the rest of the trip, this trip was all culminated to Ethan Becker saying, change the choil and don't change another effing thing. So,
well, and that was it. I bought the K-Bar BK2, right? And it's a huge. Are you familiar with that one, Sever? Like, it's a huge tank of a fixed blade. Like, you know, I joke around that I could field dress not just a deer, but a John Deere with that thing. And you know, and so I was starstruck, you know, meeting the guy, and I've been looking at his knives for years. Like I said, bought, you know, the BK2, and so when I walked in and I saw him, I turned around and looked to see him. I was like, that's Ethan Becker. Yeah, and it was like, it was really, really cool for me. But it was but we talked about blade to handle ratio, and, you know, Ken Onion was looking at it, and he was like, you know, you might want to increase your blade length just a little bit to get a little bit more out of this. And, you know,
you get more blade, but you get less life, right?
Yeah.
So it's I'd rather you have my knife for 20 years instead of 5 years, because you sharpened it so much that it's now gone beyond its point. So, you know.
Yeah. But it was one of those things too. Like I said, though, it's just you're meeting legends, and they're just like, "Yeah, let me give you some info."
Bushcraft in Kodiak's blood. Hey, it's the Johnsons has some crazy videos. You ever watch some of his bushcrafting video stuff, like him chopping stuff and whatnot? He's got some cool stuff too, man. Like I love watching his stuff too. So
I
make sure you guys post your channels in the chat. That way I can go through and subscribe, because all the names are familiar, but I wasn't aware of all the people that had videos and content up.
Yeah.
And I would love to support the channels, but also just check out the cool stuff, because like the first 20 videos you put up are probably the most passionate videos, you know, putting yourself out there. And I would love to be a part of that. So make sure you guys are linking your channel so I can go back through here and and subscribe and check you guys out.
Yeah.
I will say it is really easy to get starstruck with the readiness that some of these legends are willing to. Like I'll occasionally send an Instagram message. Like I sent one to HMC about the transient.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a review on it, and I was like, hey, before I do this review, is there anything you want me to know about the knife, the process, anything like that I wouldn't know just from handling the knife? And it was insane to me that within less than an hour, like he had paragraphs for me, and he was like, you know, thank you so much for checking out the knife. It's awesome. But this dude, you know, he's like, I mean, he's a one-man operation, absolutely legendary design. But even like him, like Nim Knives, like Ray Laconico, these people are easier to get in touch with than you could possibly imagine if you're in the community. And their willingness, you know, like it's harder to get a hold of some of the bigger YouTubers than it is some of these custom knife makers.
Unsub, Paul. You'll never unsub. Now you are one with the Wyvern and the Kodiak now. Okay, you can't unsub us. You can't quit us, bro.
Paul, don't threaten us with a good time, man. Come on. We know you're not going anywhere, bro.
No, you're right though. They are very, very accessible people. Jim at HMC is a great dude, and I know Fred the Lug has. I think he's been up there and like built like one with him and stuff, right? So
Fred the Lug is more custom connections.
Oh my god, yeah.
Anybody like he has made knives with. And I mean, like in the shop with his son, with the knife maker, he has done that so many times that he's not buying a knife anymore. He's buying an experience.
Yeah.
Right. Because he's in the shop handling the knife that is being made for him, working on it himself. And so like by the time that like the knife is just a reminder of the experience that him and his son had with the maker. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like those are permanent collection pieces, things you would never ever get rid of.
No.
Like those are special.
Those are absolutely pieces that get passed down. Those are estate worthy pieces, you know. And I mean, he sent me a message one time. He was at a maker up in Albany, and he had sent me a video just showing what him and his son were making up there and the sound that this thing makes. And he was like, you have got to hear this. It's just wild. And he's like, you know, he showed me how he gets the sound out of it. Like this guy mastered how to get the ting that we all hunt for. And this guy had like, I don't know. It was stunning. Right. I mean, Fred lives a knife fan's dream. When it comes to that stuff, and couldn't be a better part of the community as well. He's another one that is just, you know, you ask his input, you want to send him a knife to review, he'll send it around to people that have some clout in the knife space. So just super great person. I mean, I love it. I absolutely can't thank and love this community any more than I already do, and something tells me I'm going to love it even more.
Yeah, the community's truly blessed me because, you know, as starting out, you know, I had, you know, some knives to review and stuff like that, but I didn't have to be a big name or a big, and I'm still not anybody, but like even small, the amount of people that were willing to support me. I think Lefty added me to the Pass-Around group. I asked him whenever I was at like 100 subscribers, and he was like, let's see you make it to 500 and then we can talk. And at first I was like, well, how am I going to make it to 500 with no knives? But in reality, it's like, we're not going to trust you with knives when you haven't done anything yet. You're not anybody, right?
Yeah, you have to put your
knives
time in. You have to put your time in. You have to be embedded in the community somewhere before you're going to get in the pass around, right? Lefty said the same thing to me, right? I kept on bothering him, send me one of your knives that's a proto. I want to review it early. And he was like, who the hell are you? Like, you know, and it's like, you make a good point. And then, I did my time for the last 6 months of being here every night, hanging out with everybody. And don't get me wrong, am I doing a job? Sure am. But am I loving what I'm doing? To more than anybody could imagine. And
and Lefty, he kind of treated us the same, where the barrier of entry wasn't how big are you. The barrier of entry was, are you willing to put in the time and grind? Because it took me several months to get up to that mark, and I reached back out to him, and I'm like, all right, bro, I think I'm barely touching 500 subscribers. I've got a ton of videos out. I've uploaded almost every single day. Can I now be a part? And he was like,
you have to have stay power. That's just what it comes down to is to be in the pass around group, you get a knife sent to you and then you disappear. You just take off with a knife, really. Right. So I get that. I saw a couple people pop in here real quick. Just so you know, I see Laid Off Pete popped in. So, hey man, what's going on? Appreciate you hopping on with us. Glad
Paul
to,
Mills, Robert Jones.
to get you in here. Ground Fog is in here. Appreciate you coming in here and hanging out with us, Ground Fog. Always a pleasure, my friend. Lots of people have come through tonight, man. This is just such an awesome community, and I'm so grateful that our first live has the success that we did. And I get it. We're not looking at seeing Metal Complex numbers on lives or even Neves numbers, but for a 350 subscriber channel to get 50 people in a live at one time, I think that's a pretty damn big number for a small channel. So I would say I'm pretty proud of this, and just seeing how many people have turned up for us tonight I'm grateful for all of you.
It's the most familiar faces too. It's all the feel good names that I like.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Whenever I jump into a live stream, because sometimes I sit in the background, I don't talk, right? Sometimes you're just going through it and you just want a live stream playing. But like, these are all the familiar names that pop up, and it's like, okay, I know exactly where I'm at, right? This is YouTube home as far as I'm concerned. So it's like, and you've probably had 80 people pass through in total, right? 50 concurrent, but probably 80 in total because some people have popped in and out.
Yeah.
And but yeah, this is like a wholesome stream where it's like every single one of these people I see, I've been seeing them for years. Live streams.
Yeah, right? these are the regulars. These are the our peoples, if you will. Yeah. And just so grateful to all of you for coming out. And for those that have come in that you didn't hear from me before, next Wednesday night we're going to have Casey Spearon from Tempest Knives come on. It's the night before he's dropping his Tornado on the 15th at 1 p.m. So we're going to talk a little bit about that knife, let him show the variants off that he's got, maybe talk a little bit about the design and how he came up with it and whatnot, maybe what's in the pipeline with what he's got going on. It's awesome. So just super grateful. So if you all are free next Wednesday and you want to come hang out, Casey will be on with us. And yeah, we're going to get Casey up late. He won't hang as long as Sever. Casey's not he didn't have that like 2 hours.
He'll pull a hell of a crowd though for 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? He'll pull a hell of a crowd for 30 minutes.
Yeah, he definitely will. He'll come on for a little while as long as he wants to stay. Look, if he wants to hang out with me for 2 hours and Chris for 2 hours, like we'll stay on, right? Casey's welcome to stay as long as he wants, but I don't think he's going to give that kind of time. I'm sure he's got other things, especially the night before a drop. But I wanted to give him at least a floor to chat. So it's awesome. And projectiles, Tristan, dude, thank you. Funny story with him, right? So I wound up doing a trade on Blade Binge, and he says to me, hey, who did the anno work on this? And I said, that was Darkwater. And he goes, oh, I know Darkwater. I'm in his chats all the time. I said, oh yeah, what's your screen name? He says, projectiles are sharp. I said, oh shit, I know who you are. It's Wyvern Kodiak. And so we just had a laugh. We had a trade that we did. And, you know, we started chatting more regularly behind the scenes. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun just getting to know so many people. And now the small world, right? What a happenstance that him and I wound up making a trade on Blade Binge, and we know each other. So, you know, it's just, I can't begin to say how fun this is. I've had a lot of fun tonight. I hope everybody here has had a lot of fun. I appreciate that you all were hanging out with us this late tonight. You know, like I said, I was anticipating a short one, but the turnout came, and I mean, gosh, bless you all for doing that, man. It was, we'd stay on as long as we were going to be had, right? So that was cool. Very, very cool. And Chris, I've had poor Kodiak is way past his bedtime now. This poor guy.
I'm almost ready to hibernate.
Hey, real quick, Lakeside 8, is your channel Brando's Blades?
Yeah, I know we got a little bit of a delay. Oh, snap. Todd Carr hopping in here. Holy cow. Have you been lurking, Todd? Greetings from Canada, my brother. Appreciate you hopping on. You've been given mod status.
Well, so the reason I was looking is it is Lakeside 8. I've confirmed that's Brando's Blades. He made a comment. He said, you know, I think about giving up often, LOL. I know he was joking, right? But that prompted me to immediately go find his channel and see that he's got 795 videos and 531 subscribers. And it looks like he's got a pretty steady stream of content rather.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta say, Brando's Blades, Lakeside 8, you just need thumbnails, homie. That's it. That's the only thing holding you back from success. So I sub to your channel, and I'm just gonna keep an eye out for you. But if you ever have questions about putting up, don't get me wrong, my thumbnails are simple and they're easily repetitive. But that is the only thing holding you back from success, brother. Like, you want to break into, you know, 1,000 subscribers, thumbnails, homie. That's all you need. But if you have any questions, obviously DM me at Sever7 minus the E's. And I'll hook you up, bro. But yeah, man, you're putting in a ton of work. 795 videos. That's twice as many videos as I have. And you deserve way more subscribers than what you have, is what I'm saying. So
yeah, that thumbnails are massively important. You know, in the beginning, I had to go back through all my videos and add thumbnails after the fact because I wasn't doing it either. So, you know, lessons learned and stuff. But I got the same talking to, if you will, that you just said, Sever, from Jared Neves. He said, "Look, man, you're doing the work and you're going to get better, but you're not even putting thumbnails up. So, I mean, what's attracting the eye to your video, right?"
Right.
And so, Lakeside 8, Fred the Lug is who we were talking about. Sever, what was his channel? You said it was
Brando's Blades.
Brando's Blades. Yeah, Lakeside, hit us up, man. Like, either hit me up or Sever up, and we'll help you put together thumbnails, man. It's really, really easy. All my thumbnails are literally screenshots off of the videos that I've just actually recorded. And then I just add some editing into that, right? Some text or something, you know, hey, it's like I did a video today for the Kaiser for Weed. Thank you, Fred the Lug. But I did that video today, and you know, Kaiser for Weed, and then underneath I was like, great knife, needs stronger detent. Like, there's my thumbnail.
Yeah, like you don't need like, I literally stole my format from Rob at Rob's Nerdy Knives because I liked it. I was like, I can see visibly what the knife is in every video, and I can type in his search bar the name of a knife, and if he has a video related to that, it pops up. So like, if anybody ever wanted to see if I reviewed a knife, just type in the actual name of the knife in the search bar, and if I've reviewed it, you'll find it. Otherwise, you won't. So keep in mind that like none of us three are like pro experts, but you don't need to be a pro expert to get the needle pushing, right? You just need something, and you know, something's better than nothing. And you know, these guys have a steady, consistent thumbnail style. I have a steady, consistent thumbnail style, and it's because they work, right? Mine isn't the most interesting, but my viewers know what to expect. They see the knife, they know the name of the knife, and then they can decide from there if they want to click on it or not. You know what I mean? So you can reach out to both of us if you want to, but if you're looking to take the next step, man, it's just, that's all you need is thumbnails, bro.
That's awesome feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've had a few people reach out to me about little things like that, right? There was a recent new channel that was added on to YouTube, and I had found him on Instagram actually, and let me see. I got a shout out. So the Collector's Edge, and I think he was in here before, and I apologize. I saw it, but we were in the middle of conversation. I should have circled back. So if you're still in here, Collector's Edge, appreciate you hopping in here, man. You're awesome. Check out his channel. He's growing, but his whole content is based on the collecting of knives, not the use of the knife. And it is awesome stuff. He's got beautiful knives, but he reached out and just asked simple input on his videos, right? And it was like, hey, you know, do a little better with your lighting, get a little more active with your hands on the videos. You're letting knives sit for a little while, and you don't want to do that. You got to keep in motion, and stuff like that. But otherwise, what he was saying was fantastic content, right? And very first video that he talked about, I learned stuff from. So there's so much information to learn from there, but really, really good stuff. Just ask help, right? Even the people that don't have communities, a lot of times, if you just have a common person that you see, like Todd Carr, I see him in all sorts of lives, right? If I ask Todd, hey man, can you review my channel and tell me something that's up with my videos? He would probably come back the next day and say, look, I looked at your videos and here's where I think you can improve, right? And that would help me incredibly.
He would say you probably ought to just have a Wyvern channel.
No, man, I can't be Wyvern without the Kodiak. It's not the same, right? I need my brother from another mother.
You guys are definitely two parts of the same whole. I'm just saying that the dichotomy between you two is it's a level of balance that I don't have, right? I don't even have that with another person. Like your guys' brotherhood is insane. You guys are literally the yin and the yang, and you guys match each other's energy. You guys meet in common ground, right? Where like the Wyvern comes down a little bit, the Kodiak comes up a little bit, but you guys are it's unbelievable the friendship that you guys have formulated and built together, because it's like you guys have all the parts that a friendship requires, right? You guys tolerate each other. You guys have immense trust for one another. You guys went into this thing as partners. I mean, a tremendous risk, you know, and you guys are like, look, burn the ships because we're not leaving the island. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no direction but forward, and we're going there together. Like, it is absolutely mind-blowing, the relationship that you guys have forged. And it's been nothing shy of inspiring for me to see, because it's made me raise the standards of my own life for like, okay, that's not what a ride or die looks like. This is what a ride or die looks like, and it's the two of you. You know what I'm saying? So,
thank you, man. Funny enough, right? So my wife knew Chris 25 years ago now, Chris, right?
Probably, yeah.
Chris used to be my wife's boss at a telecommunications company, and they became friends. And then when I was dating my wife like set me up on a play date with Chris like we were children, and we are, but like two 12-year-olds, like, can he come out and play? And like he called my wife called Chris's wife and was like, can Chris come out and play? Sam would like a friend. And I mean, just Chris and I had an immediate connection, and we didn't really hang out or talk for a long time because I lived in New Jersey at the time and he lived in Indy. But when I moved to Indy with my wife finally said, I'm done with New Jersey. It's time to move to Indy. And I moved out here and she was like, reach out to Chris, talk to him. Maybe he'll hang out with you or something like that. And I was like, I'll call him. Like, two dudes don't do this. Like, it's just not normal.
Ask a dude on a date. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I can't. I am just east of Indianapolis, Fred, and Chris is just northeast of Indianapolis. We're very close. I mean, if you were in Indianapolis, for me, it would be 10 minutes. For Chris, it'd be 20. It's really close. Yeah, so my wife set us up again on a play date, but it was like we picked up like we never even missed a beat. And as soon as we saw each other, we gave each other a hug, and it was instantaneous that we were just reconnected again.
It was like it's like stepbrothers. Like, did we just become best friends?
Yeah. Yep. You want to go in my room and do karate? Yep. And it was 100% that. And it first started off with like, I texted Chris a few weeks later. I was like, hey dude, I'm going to go to the shooting range. Do you shoot? And he was like, I haven't in a long time. I was like, you want to go? He's like, I'll go with you. And I think he was just like, this dude has no friends. I'll go with him. And he went with me. And then instantaneously it was like, okay, I got to buy guns. And like, I just opened this Pandora's box of Chris spending unlimited amounts of money on firearms at that point. And so much room for activities. Exactly.
Yeah.
It was out of control. And we just we have such similar interests. We have such similar personalities and senses of humor and stuff like that. And Chris and I really do have a very unique connection like that. And I do consider him my family. So Laser Ghost Knives, Donnie Bless in the house, my bro.
What's up, Donnie?
Dude? How's it going, man? Thanks for stopping by. Hanging with mom, still can't hear. Wanted to give respect. Dude, I appreciate you, brother. You are awesome.
Fred,
awesome, man.
Fred asked about the Makers Syndicate, and I just saw the other day that Oz moved into their new building. And I know that was the priority that they were trying to get done before the Makers Syndicate. So I don't know if they're going to do one in 26. I haven't seen.
Yeah, I don't know. We got to reach out to them because Makers Syndicate's usually in March. And if they haven't planned it already, I highly doubt they're going to have one, at least not until the back half of the year, because there's no way that I know they didn't do it in 25, man. There's no way that they are
not
going to be able to accommodate that. Yeah. All those makers aren't going to be able to arrange that in such a short time. But I would love to get to the Maker Syndicate. I've heard nothing but amazing things.
I got to go to an awesome knife show and sleep in my own bed. Yes, please.
That would be wild. I'm out in Missouri. We don't have knife anything out here. I have GP Knives about an hour away. That's as close as I get.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have we obviously have Oz Machine, right? Which is what, like an hour away, Chris? I'm still learning where the hell.
Right at an hour.
And then you've got now we have Berkeley Cerakote, who's starting to make knives, right? And he's on the other side of Indianapolis, and he's like 45 minutes from me. So I'm excited to see him grow as a knife maker. He's got I think 3 knives out now, and he showed me a picture of one that he's working on another one, which looks outstanding, by the way. But he's got some stuff in the works. So it's really cool. It's really, really cool. I never thought of Indy as a knife mecca or anything, but it's the crossroads of America in a lot of ways, right? So I guess it makes sense that there's some manufacturing stuff there, and then you've got what Giant Mouse opened something in Lansing, Michigan, right? They have a showroom or something up in Lansing. So
about 3 hours from us.
Yeah, about
Usler, the guy that makes the duckling. I don't know his first name, but he's actually in Missouri. He's like 4 hours away from me, and I keep thinking. I mean, I can't do it now, but I keep thinking how cool it would be to pull a Fred lug and take my son down there. You know what I'm saying? And just be like, hey, can we just like crash with you for like a week and make a knife? That would be dope. Do you have a shed?
And you know what's funny? You say the duck and the duckling, right? But have you ever seen the neutralizer from him?
Oh, God, yes.
Dude, the neutralizer has me like just licking the screen every time I see that. I'm like, please don't get shocked. But I think that's his hottest knife in my opinion. And then you've got Donnie Bless here, right? Bless Knives, well now Laser Ghost Knives, with the Ripley. If you haven't seen one of those, I mean his knives are he's got sexy stuff too. And his stuff's all handmade. I told him I got to get my hands on one of them. I know he's busy and he's backed up right now, but
he doesn't have any CNC. He doesn't have any big heavy equipment. All of his stuff is 100% by hand.
Yeah.
I mean, and if I recall correctly, he's self-taught. But I mean, yeah, he makes incredible stuff. It's so hard to get a hold of his knives. I asked the Knight's Edge to send me one of
FUK from them too. I never heard of that one, Fred. The FUK. I have to look that up, but that's awesome.
Oh yeah, I'm on the mailing list for or the email list for Usler, so I see all their drops and all their hot stuff, and I don't know why I'm there. It just depresses me. But you guys, if you haven't checked out Blessed Knives or Laser Ghost Knives, you really should. He's got a very unique style that's all his own. If you see something from him, I promise you haven't seen it anywhere else in the industry. So definitely check out his YouTube channel. He has some sick lives. You feel like you're in the hood.
Later, Jimmy.
It's a pretty
appreciate
good experience.
you coming in, brother. Thank you so much, Jimmy Crow, my bro. I such a good dude. We'll talk in a couple of weeks with Chris, right? Let's nail down some dates, man, for sure.
Yeah, Chris, I don't know if he's still in here or not, but he gave us a really nice congrats on the first show.
Chris, again, man, unprofessional dad. He was the first
great guy.
Yeah, he was the first backer besides us for the channel, right? Like he was really. We met Chris in Atlanta and met him for dinner one night and sat there and look, everything we bought we handed him and let him play with our knives and everything, and then showed him what we were working on from a design, and instantaneously he was like, holy crap, you guys are going above and beyond what most knife makers start off like you're doing so much work. And he has been nothing but supportive and an incredible good friend, and just awesome dude. Cat Scratch Knives, what's up, dude? Welcome to the channel. Appreciate you hopping in here, man. Awesome to see you in here. But yeah, Chris is a good dude. And he has turned into an incredibly good friend of ours. I can't wait to see him again in person. I owe the dude a big hug, I really do.
If we ought to just drive down to Boosie's and see him.
Blue Minotti's going to bed. All right, man. Yeah, no, I know. I kept everybody up late. My mouth keeps firing, and Chris is over there yawning, and So no, I gotta
cut in about 5 minutes, guys. It's getting about that time for me too.
Yeah, no, you're good, man. You're good. I'm gonna cut it soon as well. I think I'm probably keeping my wife upstairs right now. She went to bed an hour and a half ago, and she's probably like, shut the hell up. So I got you. But look, first off, Sever, thank you for hopping on here, for giving us 2.5 hours of your night, and for offering to come in and do this. Thanks for everything that you've done for this channel and for us as friends. I know it's what the knife community does, but there are some people that are just you get that kindred spirit, right? And I think Chris and I have found some close friends in here, and you're definitely one of those. So thank you, man, for doing
I
that.
appreciate that.
You're awesome, man.
Well, you guys know how much you support me, not just by sending knives and stuff, but helping me out with designs and technical areas that that I'm not very good at art. I really suck at it. So helping me out with that stuff, but also just being a constant source of support.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we love what you do, man. So I mean, we're absolutely going to support you on that. We appreciate you. We're obviously your friend, but what you're doing, legit. I mean, if I thought it was wrong, and I've told you this from designs, like, hey, man, I don't think this is the right path to go down, and we've talked about that before.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell you it straight. But I mean, I genuinely like what you do, man. You have great designs. You got great eye for design. You've got good concepts in your mind of what you want and how you want to accomplish it. So I think sky's the limit for you, bro. You do a great job.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Big time for that,
absolutely,
man.
Bro.
Definitely have me on again, though. I don't mind if you guys have a hard time filling a spot if I'm free. I've had a blast talking. I love everyone in chat. You guys are awesome. So if you guys
100%,
just have me on some other time. It'd be dope.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely have you back. I think everybody in here had fun hearing from you and hearing from us, and just the interaction. It was a good conversation tonight, right? It's
sure.
naturally steered itself. But this was not staged nonsense. Start a subject and it just kind of spiraled from there naturally. So this is what this is about. So thanks, Laid Off Pete. I appreciate you, man, for sure. And
hey, good night to everybody in chat. I hope you guys have an awesome one. I really appreciate all the support and stuff like that. A lot of great channels were linked in the chat, so make sure you show some love and support. Yeah. And then just like how the three of us were talking about, celebrities making themselves easily accessible, like we're just as easily accessible. If you guys have any questions or, you know what I'm saying, or if you guys are it doesn't even matter what it is, how insignificant you think it might be, we'll make time for you. Just reach out.
Yeah,
Instagram,
100%, 100%.
In the live, whatever. Whatever knowledge we have to impart, they have vastly more than I do. But the little that I have to give, I will absolutely give. So that's it for me. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna cut out, but have an amazing night. Much love. I'll see you guys next time.
Later, dude. Thank you. Everybody. So we're going to cut it in a minute, but again, I want to thank everybody. Shout out to Sever 7 for coming on here, short notice, spending the whole evening with us. It was an incredibly fun time. I had a great time hanging out with Chris and Sever and everybody in chat, and seeing you all interact as well is awesome. So thank you, and don't forget, next Wednesday, 9 p.m., we're going to have Casey Spear on from Tempest Knives on. So he's going to be hanging out with us for a little while. We'll talk about his tornado, which drops the day after. So that's going to be really cool to get a little talk from him. And like and subscribe on each other's channels and stuff like that. Let's lift the community up together. We all grow, and I'd love to see everybody have some success. But thank you from the bottom of our hearts. It really does mean a lot, the turnout that we got tonight. It's super rewarding. Chris, I know you're a man of few words, but I'm gonna drop this on you. Go ahead and say something, man.
Yep. Good night, everybody. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and thanks for your time this evening.
Yeah, thank you everybody for coming. J1 Dewey, you came in so late, man. We're just wrapping up, but before we go, I'm gonna make you a mod. Come in next week, man. We're gonna have Casey Spearing on from Tempest Knives. We'll have another good time. We're gonna try and do this every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Probably won't go this long every week. I don't know if we all have that kind of energy. We're kind of old men now. And every once in a while, I might just hop on randomly and just do a live in the middle of the day, because why the hell not? Because I've got nothing better to do. So if I do, I do. And you're all welcome to come in and hang out with me. But I appreciate everybody. Thank you. I will catch you on the next one. Chris will catch you on the next one. hopefully. I know, well, I'll definitely catch you in a bunch of lives during the week and everything like that. Until then, you all take care and you have a great week.
All right. Good night,
See you, everybody.